Are we?
Yeah, we are.
Well, with that, welcome to the first episode of the Ball Limberous podcast.
Ball, limberous.
Okay.
Podcast.
We'll get that in editing. Let's. The first order of business is we're all going to go around and introduce ourselves. We have two. We have two guests. Why don't our guests start by introducing themselves in whichever order you guys want?
I'm Joel Limberous.
He looked down at his paper to read.
Hi, Joel. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Bill Kaiser.
Wow.
Dr. Bill Kaiser.
Dr. Bill
Yeah,
Kaiser.
trying to be humble.
Thank you for joining us,
Wow.
Dr. Bill Kaiser.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. We know that you're a very busy man.
Anytime for the ball.
We'll remember that. We will have you back.
Okay. I am one of the two main hosts of the show. My name is Charles Limberous. And
I am Tall Limberous. And this is the Ball Limberous podcast.
yes, it is. So on today's show, we are going to try to stay as focused as we possibly can
We're gonna try.
on doing the NBA playoff bracket, which is pretty exciting. We might get a little sidetracked. The NBA games just ended today, and if you guys have been following, a lot of the seeding has been fluctuating or whatever. But we have the bracket written down here, and we're just going to fill it out as we kind of go. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to do play-in on both sides forward? Do we want to fill out the Western
Let's
Conference
talk the
and then the
play-in
Eastern?
first. Yeah.
Okay, on both sides?
On
Are we-
both sides.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You also want to just start in the Western
Sure.
Western Conference play-in or
Who
whatever?
do we got?
Let's start with the 7-8 matchup. All right, so let's talk New Orleans Pelicans versus Los Angeles Lakers. If everyone's down for that.
Absolutely.
Who wants to start? Dr. Bill Kaiser, do you want to kick us off?
Bill, what are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts and feelings?
I think that the Lakers are going to win
Okay.
because of LeBron James, and that is it.
And
And
that's
his
it.
legacy?
Yeah, I suppose.
What would this do, winning this play-in game, for his legacy?
It would
Nothing.
it would get him another year in the playoffs.
You know,
How many years has LeBron James been in the playoffs? There's
A
got
lot, like
a lot of
18
years.
or
Probably
something.
like the
30
most.
years.
Not the most ever, but he's up there.
You know, I think getting into this play-in...
When was the last time? Sorry, to cut you off. When was the last time LeBron James wasn't in the playoffs?
Dude, like his third season in the NBA.
Yeah,
It's been forever.
It's been a long time.
You know, I think if he wins this game against the Pelicans, oh my gosh, you know what just occurred to me? This is a rematch of the play-in tournament
Last year.
no,
Right?
sorry, not the play-in, for the in-season tournament.
Oh,
Like in the West, this was
And they
This
just played today, too.
and guess who won both times?
The Lakers.
the Lakers.
The Lakers.
The
The Lakers fucking dominate them.
Yep.
But what I was going to say earlier is I think there's something really interesting here where, for me at least, if the Lakers go on to beat the Pelicans and take the 7th seed, I think that's the defining differential, at least for me, in the Michael Jordan LeBron debate. So that he will finally surpass Michael Jordan. If he
This
wins
one
this.
game.
This one game. Otherwise, he's shit and not in the top 10. So a lot on the line for LeBron here.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, something I would like to say is there's a fun fact about LeBron. He is 2-0 in play-in games. And
How are the Lakers doing coming into the play-in tournament? Are they streaky? Have they?
Go ahead.
Go and pull it up real quick. Let's see. What are they in their last 10?
Yeah, for sure. I'll look it up while you guys are chatting. But I know that they've been super hot just because as a Golden State fan, I've found it insufferable that we can't catch them. But let's see here. I'll just pull up schedule.
I think over
But-
the last couple of years, the Lakers have kind of been like the Heat in terms of, you know, during the regular season they're good. They're not bad. I mean, they have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You can't be a bad basketball team if you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis on your team. But just having that like shift of mentality postseason, and just like you can't count the Lakers out in any of their games
Except the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Which they showed us that last year in the playoffs. They really did. It wasn't embarrassing to the point that I turned my TV off, but
no, every game was close.
it was close, but they swept.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it a sweep last year?
It was a
4-1?
sweep,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of them were within like most were within like 5 or 10. I know that for sure.
Well, fun fact, that Denver Lakers, if the Lakers do take the 7th seed, that's going to be the first round of this year's playoffs, which would be a fun watch. The West is going to be crazy.
There really aren't that many changes to the roster of the Lakers compared to last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
like it's just a rematch, you know?
Basically, which is...
let's take their top 2 players real quick. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and we got Jokic, and we got Murray.
Yeah. Within
the last year, how have those players improved or deproved, or have they kind of stayed stagnant from your perspectives? I'll go first here. I really think they're the same players. You know, they haven't really changed their game too much. Nothing crazy about you know, developing a new move or playing the pass more. I feel like LeBron James is just the same old LeBron James. But there's nothing wrong with that.
He's shooting better from the 3.
He is a lot better from the 3. I think he's up to 41% right now, which is the highest in his career. I would like to just throw this out there. We're already talking about a first-round series. We haven't talked about the Pelicans at all, which is kind of fun. Does anyone have the Pelicans winning? By the way, I looked it up. Lakers are 7-3 in their last 10, but I know they've been hot since the All-Star.
I've got the Pelicans.
You have the Pelicans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Do you care to elaborate?
I love a good underdog story. They lost twice in the last year or whatever.
All right.
Today. They're getting them. They're getting their comeuppance.
You think so?
Okay.
Yeah.
You think so?
That very well could happen.
You think Zion's still pissed from... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
You're good. I think that Brandon Ingram's back. He's know that. He's good. He's been good since he was on... Was he on the Trailblazers? No, I'm thinking of CJ McCollum. Sorry.
100%. But
yeah.
CJ
but CJ's good. That's what I was saying. B.I.'s good. B.I.'s great.
But
Zion...
How healthy will he be?
You're right. We'll see. How healthy and how good is Zion going to play? I don't know. Sometimes he plays great. Sometimes he's like 6 points.
Yeah.
He's too inconsistent.
Well, here's the thing. He's going up against one of the best rim protectors in the league, Anthony Davis. So we'll see.
Arguably the best rim protector.
Yeah, they have a lot better time against the Warriors.
No, bro. Okay, here's the thing. Well, here we'll get to that in a second. Point is, I'm also taking Los Angeles Lakers, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in that for myself. Are you also taking...
I am also taking the Lakers.
Okay, so Joel.
As much as I like the Pelicans, I just can't see that ending in any other way than the king, the GOAT, the legend, LeBron James, walking away as the undisputed GOAT after that playing game. Let me mark it real quick.
Yeah, sure. You can. If he wins this playing game, he will be undisputed.
I just think his legacy needs some humbling.
And Zion is the man to do it, basically. That's too funny. I will say one more thing. I remember in the in-season tournament earlier just thinking, like, if LeBron wants to win, he will. And that's, I mean, this is a must-win. One thing that I did want to bring up, because this is a super interesting thing. We know that Denver seems to have Los Angeles' number. So this is kind of crazy, but I'm thinking, what if there's a world where they tank this game to try to get the 8th seed to go up against OKC, who they seem to play better against? It's just something I thought might be like a weird strategy,
but they'd have to beat the Warriors.
And then everyone would be like...
It's nervous, but there's no chance of them beating Denver.
I don't think they're going to beat the Warriors if they have to.
Yeah, Yeah, I know. It's a roll the dice.
When was the last
Just
time that
wanted
a
to throw it
team
out there.
has strategically lost, other than to like tank a season? Like
I don't know.
I know like it happens
It does
like
happen.
on the down low, but
Did the Bucks do it to avoid the Nets when they were the 3 seed and the Nets were the 7 seed?
They might have, yeah. I don't remember that far back, but I mean, I know that does happen. It does happen.
I know it does happen, but when it does happen, it's like, what happened to the integrity of the game? What happened to ball doesn't lie? You know?
It's the
Wow.
same thing as not upgrading any of your towers in Clash of Clans. Only upgrading your troops.
Wow, so relatable.
That is an amazing point. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Bill Kaiser.
I don't think
Okay.
they go for the loss there. I feel like they're coming off of being 7-3.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna win this game versus the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James gonna do the thing where he puts the chalk in his hands and he goes like that, and they're just gonna win. They're gonna win, and they need that momentum going into playing Denver. I really think they do, and they don't need a first round play-in loss where the whole NBA media starts thinking and saying, "Oh, where are the Lakers gonna go anywhere this year? Like, this would. What if they shoot like 40% from the field? Like that would be terrible.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. But
It'll be fun, and that's what's tough about one game thing.
yep.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw this out there. 5-5 in the last 10 for the
Okay.
Pelicans, but I know they've been struggling, especially when Brandon Ingram has been out.
Yep.
But I feel like we've talked about this matchup for long enough.
I think
Now,
so too.
does everyone agree?
Yeah.
I need to update this, and then let's go into the other Western Conference play-in game between Sacramento and Golden State. Who wants to start this one off?
This is gonna be a good one. I watched.
Mhm.
I think the last 3 games of the season, 3 games of their matchup last year in the playoffs, and it was very well rounded. It was, Fox is a great player, and no doubt Curry is a great player,
Mhm.
and that was just a great series to watch. Lots of action,
Mhm.
lots of offensive superstars
It was a lot
just
of fun.
doing their thing.
Mhm. I loved ripping the heart out of Kings fans' chests. I'm excited to do it again.
I think Kings fans they already have their hearts ripped out
They're
because
traumatized.
Sabonis didn't get an All-Star appearance this year. Can we talk about that for a second? Isn't that
Sure.
crazy? He's leading the league in double-doubles.
Mhm. He had like 58 straight or something.
Something like that.
Wasn't that an NBA record?
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Not an All-Star. Why is
Mhm.
that? Why do you think that is? Can you believe that? If you were a great player on a team that they're in the play-in,
Mm-hmm.
earlier in the season, I think they were leading up to the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
They were the 3 seed. They started the
I think
season
we're
off
about the
good. I
3
know
seed.
that.
Probably not the 3 seed.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever that high.
Really?
Yeah, here's what I will say about them. All right. Ever
Maybe
since
I was wrong then.
you're all good, but ever since Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk have gone out, they've been reeling. They have really been falling apart. I want to look up
True.
their last 10, but this is something just like day after day as I've been seeing the standings go on. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. Today they did beat the Portland Trailblazers. So in their last 10, how many losses is that? 2, 4, 6. So 4 and 6, which but it's been bad. Honestly, they've been reeling. And now obviously they're playing against the team that beat them last year.
Yep.
And
They must be thinking about that. Another matchup where, the rosters really haven't changed much.
Mhm.
Clay's on the bench.
well,
No
he's been
Jordan
starting
Poole.
recently. No Jordan Poole.
No
That's
Jordan
true.
Poole.
Yeah, and we all know how goated he is.
We
so.
know how great he made the Warriors.
Absolutely. Thoughts, Jal or Dr. Bill Kaiser? Other one goes?
Well, you've heard me talk about it before, but I'm going with the Warriors.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree. And I'm
Yeah.
going to fill in my bracket like
I'm
that.
going Warriors on
You're,
this one.
you're also going Warriors?
Mhm.
I'm gonna be the odd man out here.
Really?
I already know it. I know you, Garrett. I know who you're gonna pick. I know you.
Do you?
Who?
I don't know if you do.
I think I do.
Okay.
Who'd you pick?
I'm going for the Kings.
I took the Golden State Warriors. But
I know that this
I'm
is
a fanboy.
this is a little bit of a hot take,
Mhm.
but I feel like they have so much to prove.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like throughout Fox's career, he's had something to prove. He's like one player that I feel like the NBA narrative is that he wasn't enough. Especially
Mhm.
like earlier in the season.
Mhm.
Now he's like getting into that where he is that guy.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this earlier today, how he's scoring. And he's doing it beautifully.
Yeah, at a high clip.
He's fast, he's shifty, he takes good care of the ball.
I think isn't his 3-point percentage still like the highest of his career, and he's like
I
balling
think
out
so.
right now. Yeah, very, very good stuff. Yeah. Thoughts, you guys?
I just like
Nothing?
to add that I'm picking the Kings because I'm okay with the Golden State Warriors dynasty ending. And, you know, the prime time of me watching basketball and talking basketball with my great friend Shaw Limberous and Dr. Bill Kaiser. You not as much, but
Sorry,
we're
Shaw.
getting there. We're getting there. It was things
It
like
hurts.
well, let it hurt. It was things like the Warriors winning 70 games and Kevin Durant on the Warriors.
God,
and
wasn't that a great time to be alive?
I don't know
As
about
a Warriors
that.
fan, I
As a
loved it.
Warriors fan, yes, of course. But
Yeah.
just from I want the game to be like this, where this season there are a good chunk of teams that are legitimate contenders. And it's not like, oh, we're going to see LeBron James and the Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. And
Absolutely.
I would bet $10 million on that the first day of the season.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. And there's a lot of young teams on the come up too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we'll get into that with
we will.
you know, OKC and Orlando. And Joel, I know you're really high on Orlando this year, but yeah, which will be fun. Two things I just wanted to throw out there really quick. With Herter being out, Keon Ellis has stepped up. I think he's done a really good job defensively. I'm really
He's been knocking down threes.
yeah. I mean, absolutely. I think he's been.
Dr.
filling-
Bill, raise your voice a little bit so the microphone can hear you.
Just start screaming
Don't
into the
scream.
mic.
Don't scream.
But I'm just really excited to see him match up against Curry, because I think that's going to be a really interesting scheme. And I also want to see, because Looney has been having a reduced role this year on the Golden State Warriors. I want to see if they go back to him in this Kings game. It's so interesting just it being a one-thing game, but that was something that was really successful for them in last year's first round. So
True.
those were the two things I really wanted to point out. Thoughts, complaints, anger?
No anger here.
Wow. That's a relaxed
Do you
vibe,
respect my decision and why I want that? Because
bro.
I
What,
feel
a
like
lack of
if
anger?
no
Uh,
that I have the Warriors losing, because like if
That's
they
fine.
lose here,
it's not going to happen, though.
If they lose here,
if they lose here, like
then they'll win
that's
the ring
it.
next year.
you know,
Yeah,
I
that won the
I
ring
think this
next.
dynasty still has some more in it.
it doesn't.
I think it
It-
does.
I mean, I think it does too, right? We have a
I mean,
solid.
what's next?
We have two of the top 10 rookies.
Steph Curry coming off the bench too.
Curry is
Okay,
still up.
I know.
All right,
I know,
you're triggering
I
me.
know,
Hey, we're gonna let's move on.
now we've got anger.
Let's
a little bit of anger.
Let's move on to just to see who actually gets the 8 seed. So you have everyone's a little bit different now. I think we're still the same, but let's just go left to right. We've kind of talked about both these teams already, right? So
Yep.
do we want to move on and just like say who we're picking, maybe a quick blurb, and then
Maybe,
get
yep,
into the
go
actual
ahead.
bracket?
Sort of soft.
Wait, who?
Oh, sorry. Chaw.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, between Golden State and New Orleans Pelicans, I'm going to take Golden State to win. I'm going to have them in the 8th seed. I am a Golden State Warrior fanboy, so that should not be a surprise to anybody. And the main reason why I have this going the way I do, I think that playoff experience is super important. I have questions about Brandon Ingram's health, and Valanciunas is not a great center. And that seems to be the main problem that the Warriors have seemed to have throughout the season, is anytime, especially when they have two bigs, like at a power forward and center, but anytime there's strength defensively for their opponent, they seem to struggle. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this matchup, at least for me. Did you want to go next, just because we both have the Golden State Warriors and the Pelicans?
Yeah, I have the Pelicans winning that game.
Okay.
They just have much more talent on their team. And that's basically it. I don't think they're going to lose 2 games in a row.
Okay.
I think.
Sounds good.
I mean, this is not my pick, but I can see that with how streaky the Pelicans are. Like, there's some nights where they just go off. I remember seeing this one stat line of Zion versus the 76ers. I mean, this was like the first week after Embiid was out. But Zion scored like 40 and was perfect from the field, which is he was close to perfect from the field. I'll have to stat check that one, but there are games like that where the Pelicans look like an all-star caliber team, and like on paper they are, but they just haven't quite figured it out, and that's why I would agree with you, Dr. Bill, about the Pelicans just statistically not losing 2 in a row. Now, in a 5-game series, if it was a 5-game series, I think Golden State would win.
Okay. Question for you, though.
Go ahead.
Pelicans or Sacramento? For you, because you have Sacramento beating out Golden State.
Yep. I think Sacramento.
Okay. Wow. So you do have the Pelicans losing 2
I
games.
do. Okay. All right. But you're right. But my reasoning for that is because it's against the Kings, who I see as better than the Warriors.
The Kings are the only team in the play-in that I think doesn't have a chance to make it out.
Come on, Bill. You're busting my balls here.
I'm humbling.
Like, you're nuts. That's incredible. Okay.
I want to see the Kings be successful because, like my friend here.
You have to let go.
Jaw.
Oh my god.
Like my friend
Yes,
Jaw.
I wrote my own name down.
To remember what I'm called.
I like a good underdog story. And I feel like the Kings have always been terrible.
Okay.
And within the scope of the last 10 or so years that I've consumed NBA media, it's just like, like Dr. Bill here said, the Kings have no chance. Like, maybe he's right, and maybe I'm sure there's a lot of people that have that take too, but I want to see them go far. And if that means that the Pelicans somehow lose 2 in a row, then I think
that's impossible.
That's okay.
Keep in mind they're 5-5 in the last 10. And I would just like to point out, I forgot to mention this earlier, 8-2 in their last 10 for the Warriors. One of the hottest teams in the NBA. Even since
how easy was their schedule though?
That's a good question. It wasn't very difficult, I'll be honest. But I mean, let's see, Utah Jazz, Pelicans, which they lost to, which is kind of funny.
Interesting.
I remember
Blazers. Wait, what?
Zion played well in that game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that's one of my
Is
biggest
that the
question marks
key?
is how are we going to guard Zion?
Is that the key to the Pelicans' success, getting out of the play-in?
What? Just
Just
having
Zion
ball?
playing good. I feel like Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum are like well-rounded players. Like, not very many nights are they. And I know I said that the Pelicans are streaky, but you know when you've got a guy like Zion, that some nights he'll score 40 and some nights he's doing nothing. I feel like that has a huge impact on his team. And when he plays good, they win. And when he doesn't, they lose.
Yeah. Yeah, I think his facilitation is also a huge role that we'll probably come on to see. Because how well he's facilitating is also going to make a huge impact.
Yep.
But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else about these teams. You actually have the Lakers versus the Warriors, if
I
I'm
do.
correct.
Yeah.
So who do you have winning that
I've
matchup?
got the Warriors on this matchup.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I do agree.
I agree as well.
If that were to come to pass, yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's obvious.
They played them a couple of nights ago, and the Warriors came out on top. But
What was the score on that?
let's see, 134 to 120. But I think there might have been rest issues. That's the problem with the end of the season stats, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and one more thing is the play-ins. We might be completely wrong. You know, it's just one game. It's hard to
Exactly.
tell.
You know, with my comment earlier of in a 5-game series, it would be different.
Yeah.
And over a 5-game series, I feel like the Golden State Warriors would.
They beat all these teams. I
Yeah.
think.
Yep. I feel like that is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
feel like
we'll
they
see.
would beat the Lakers? Okay.
It's a 7-game series for the first round, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure because they changed that.
I meant that. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
7, not
We're all
5.
good. We're all
Yeah.
good. Okay. So with that, anybody have anything else to add to the West before we jump into the Eastern Conference plan? Any ideas? Nothing?
No.
No dice? Okay. You want to talk about Bulls versus Hawks, or the two teams that will actually make the the playoffs? Any thoughts? Where do we want to start?
Whatever you want, Joe.
Wherever I want. All right.
You.
Let's start with Sixers Miami. I have Miami winning this.
Okay.
I think it's going to be really close. I think Joel has been playing well since he's been back. The Sixers have been playing very well since he got back. But I am still a little bit worried because he rested this most recent game. He has a history of being slow to come back.
Yeah.
I still do think they'll spoiler warning. I think they will ultimately come out of the East in the 8th seed, but Miami are playoff sleepers, man. They've
They
been called
really
the
are.
zombie warriors. So
Playoff Jimmy is real,
it's very real.
and you know he's got to teach some of these younger guys how he takes such a significant bump in his efficiency, in his scoring, in his ISOs, in his defense. It's just like he's a monster.
Yeah, we all know you love Joel Embiid.
No, I'm talking about Jimmy Butler
Oh shit!
and the Miami Heat, because you cannot count them out as they showed us.
Are you taking
I'm not.
Miami? Okay. Well, there it is.
From an analytical standpoint, it's hard to give my opinion as both a fan and an analyst, you know, because on one hand you've got this Miami team that made it all the way to the finals after everyone said they couldn't do it. Everyone didn't believe in them, and they did it. I mean, they lost in the finals, but
it was incredible.
It was an incredible one of the best.
That Milwaukee series was insane.
I cannot think they swept Milwaukee, didn't they?
They
It was-
game?
I think
I
it was
don't
a
remember.
gentleman's-
I think it was 5,
It-
4-1.
Yeah,
Yep,
it
was
was
a gentleman's
It was
sweep.
ridiculous.
It wasn't.
It's so crazy.
Yep.
They do it again this year. Too bad they won't.
They won't
play
play.
each other.
Yeah, no, for real. Are you gonna have You're gonna have like the Sixers make the Eastern Conference Finals or something though? I can tell. I already know.
I will try my very best
Not to.
to give my standpoint from both
Mm-hmm.
a logical standpoint
Sure.
and as a fan standpoint. Because just a little bit of lore for the podcast here. I think my last 5 years of playoff brackets have included the 76ers winning it all. And that's just me being a Philly fan. You know, trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Ben Simmons guy.
Oh boy.
And we'll get into that at another day, but you know, it's always been something that has been so close for them, and just fucking Doc Rivers, man. Cannot believe that guy throwing our games left and right, and here he is
He'll do it for Milwaukee now.
and he's doing it for Milwaukee. Yep.
Losing record with Doc Rivers.
Yep.
That's crazy. Okay. Cool. Jal, thoughts on this series? Who you got winning?
I've got the Heat on this one.
The
Okay.
Heat? Okay. I agree. Did you already say?
I did not.
Okay. Sorry. Do you want to elaborate, Jal? I'll give you the opportunity.
No.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, Dr. Bill Kaiser.
Yeah, I've got Philadelphia winning this game.
All right.
Ooh.
Would love to hear why.
Well, I'm basing off last year where playoff Jimmy didn't start until after he lost
Mm-hmm.
to the.
That's true.
That is exactly why
He was-
I have the
he was-
Heat losing the first game.
He was terrible in the first game. Kyle Lowry scored like 30 points in that game. I remember.
Yep.
He was their only.
I
good
remember
player.
that.
And who does Kyle Lowry play for now?
The 76ers.
It's the revenge game.
He's not that good though.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's one of those guys that's kind of like on the way out of the league, and the Sixers
fine.
are like, you know what, we'll pick you up. You know,
He's my man.
come hang out for a bit.
Give him one more ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more ring. Yep.
That's too funny. Okay. Perfect. Any other thoughts? Anything?
I got
No?
the Sixers. I got the Sixers in that game.
Okay.
From a analytical standpoint and from a fan standpoint. You know, I just, as great as Bam is, every time that he matches up against Embiid, it's scary for Bam.
Mm-hmm.
And the pressure that creates for the Heat to have to double team him, then leave shooters like Tyrese Maxey, who is above 40% from three. Kelly Oubre, who's a little streaky, but he can shoot. Guys like that are surrounding Joel Embiid that just, on paper, I don't see how the Sixers lose. And with the momentum that they have coming into the play-in, it's just an easy pick for me.
Have you seen Sixers versus Heat? Like a game?
I
of that
did.
before?
I watched one game this season.
Do they send doubles?
They do. They have to.
Even when Bam's on them?
Even when Bam's, they have
That's
to
interesting.
double.
Because Bam's one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Most teams, when they play Joel Embiid, who is one of the greatest at what he does,
Okay, here we go.
what
He is
can you
great.
do?
I don't know.
You gotta double him.
I don't know.
You gotta double him.
I agree. He's become so good at facilitating under Nick Nurse. That's why they were top offense and defense for a time.
Yep.
Earlier this season when he was helping.
And this is not to discredit Bam Adebayo and his defense, because it is good. Definitely is. And that was one of the things that helped that Miami Heat team make it so far, is that you had Jimmy Butler on one side scoring, and you had Bam just locking it down. Because there were some games where Bam only scored like 10 or 12, and Jimmy was just 30s and 35s, and just
50 something.
Yep.
They get some bucks. They dropped 250.
I think so.
Plus,
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess
bucks.
probably.
Jesus. Yeah, one more. This will be the last thing I say about this matchup, and it's kind of just a fun fact. You said Jimmy Butler struggled in the first play-in game of last year.
Yep.
Before the second play-in game, he offered like some. It was a woman tennis player.
Mm-hmm.
He offered her tickets to the finals.
I remember seeing that.
Which is nuts. Before the play-in game. Anyway.
Do you think that was the only reason that...
He won. Yeah, I know, for sure. And then they shit the bed at the... Yeah. Okay, perfect. I think we've talked about that long enough. Unless anybody's...
No, I think we're good.
Okay, perfect. So I have Miami moving forward. Okay. Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, let's talk about Chicago and Atlanta. Joel, do you want to start off this conversation?
Yeah. I think that Atlanta's gonna win this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm liking the look of this matchup. I think it's Atlanta easy.
Okay. I wonder what their in-season record person would be. I did like almost no research for this.
I don't think it's that good.
What?
The Hawks in season. The play-in.
Well, shit.
I'm trying to
both teams
think.
are not very good.
True, but let's see. Last season,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't make it out, right?
Mhm.
No, the Hawks. They were the 7th seed, weren't they?
I
thought
can't remember.
They were.
Yeah, they played.
They
the Celtics.
were the 7th seed. That's right.
That
They beat
you're
the
right.
Heat.
Because they beat
And-
the Heat.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that because afterward everyone was like, "How did the Heat lose to Atlanta?"
Yep.
Okay, let's do rapid fire here. Unless someone has anything very specific to talk about this game.
No.
No thoughts. You?
I got Chicago because Atlanta sucks.
Okay. Counterpoint. I have Atlanta because Chicago sucks.
Counterpoint to your counterpoint.
Okay.
I have Chicago because Atlanta really sucks.
Wow.
Nice.
And
Sorry, Trae Young.
It's.
But that's the truth. I don't like Trae Young.
all I gotta say.
Kill me, guys. But I just don't like it.
All I have to say is Atlanta and the Nuggets are the two teams that have beaten the Celtics twice. Which is insane that they're in the same conversation. Anyway,
I blame Atlanta for destroying Ben Simmons' career
yeah, because he
Because
couldn't.
passed.
because he passed
'Cause he
up
couldn't.
an easy dunk on Trae Young.
Well, Trae Young
And
is
that
known for his rim
spiraled-
protection. So.
that spiraled Philly fans into the most rage
Uh-huh.
against Ben Simmons that it physically broke his back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Physically.
I watched a
He
Nets.
probably went home that night and cried
Yeah,
a
probably.
lot.
I watched a Nets Sixers game at Philly earlier this year.
Yeah.
And it was bad. Booing.
I don't
Every
even think
time
he
he touched
didn't
the
even
ball.
play, right? Or
No, he did play.
okay.
And it
I
was
know there were
constant.
lots of periods of the season that Ben Simmons was in and out. I
Yeah.
do keep up on Ben Simmons because I like the guy.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I won't get too much into it.
You
I
and
like
you
Ben
alone.
Simmons. I'm
All right.
always rooting for him to make it back. I really am.
I say we just wrap it, the plan thing, and then move
All
on.
right.
So who do you guys have as the 8 seed? I feel like, and if you want to talk about your matchup a little bit, let's just go for it. Let's start with you, Dr. Bill Kaiser.
I got Miami. They're actually a good team, and playoff Jimmy will be activated by then.
He's
so-
gonna lock in.
Yeah.
Who's you guys send like finals tickets to this year?
Your mom,
Yeah, good call.
Stephanie Limberous.
Stephanie Limberous, that's right. Or is it Saul? Saul? No, it's not.
Stall.
Stall.
Limberous.
Stall numbers, right?
Okay. Okay. So Miami, that's fine. I mean,
I'm with you there. That's all I need to say on that. I would agree.
Okay. Cool. So you have Miami. We both have this matchup as an Atlanta Philadelphia series. So I'm taking Philly. And then I'm
Thank
assuming you're taking.
I'm
Philly.
taking Philly, yeah.
You are taking Philly. Okay.
Mhm.
Very cool.
That's a safe call.
Yeah,
It really is.
I don't like the 9 and 10 there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they both
They
suck.
both suck.
Major. But
Major
okay.
beep.
Yeah. I mean, not a lot
I
to talk
swore
about.
earlier. I think I said the F word.
Yeah, you did.
And
Dude,
it was
what the
about
fuck?
Doc Rivers.
Well, now we have the explicit tag, so
We
thank you,
do.
Trevor.
Yep.
Just
No
kidding.
problem. Who?
Sorry. Sorry, Tall. I didn't mean to.
No problem.
I'm sure that I've done that a few times. Okay.
Naming him.
Wait, what?
Dead naming him.
Yes.
Doxing
Yes.
him.
Doxing.
Don't-
Yeah. Do not dox me. Okay. Perfect. So that's congrats, guys. That's the plan.
Yep.
We all had the same 2 teams coming out.
Yep.
At least on the eastern side.
Yeah.
Well, you had Sacramento coming out of the
No,
west.
I meant.
He said
on
at
the
least
east-
on the
yeah,
eastern
yeah.
side.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that checks out. Okay, perfect. There you go. Cool. Are we doing first round? What are we doing? Someone else picked this.
Let's
thing.
jump back over to the Western.
You want to jump back over to the Western?
Yep. Let's talk the 1 and 8.
Okay. So this will mostly be just a topic about OKC because we all have different people. The 8th seed.
How
is
great is
upset.
OKC?
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know who called it?
Me.
Did
I
you?
think
I think everyone knew.
I
that
think
they were gonna be
every
great.
yep.
But the first seed?
Yes.
It's so
Okay.
it's so close.
You're right, Dr. Bill Kaiser.
Only Dr. Bill knows.
Only Dr.
It's-
Bill.
You know, earlier in the season, I was on a phone call with my good buddy Chawl here,
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about our NBA power rankings, and we took any analytical rankings and just threw them out the door. We're like, we don't care about
Mhm.
whoever's ranking who.
I
What
remember
are
this.
your picks, and what are your dark horse picks?
Mhm.
And both of us had OKC 100% top 3.
Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to be really good. But I said Minnesota was my main.
You
dark
said
horse.
Minnesota was your dark horse.
Mm-hmm. And they
and
played very well.
Here they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Came down to the last game of the
It,
season
it did.
for the first seed.
Yep.
But OKC thoughts. Who do you have?
Chet
OKC?
Holmgren.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
he's just great.
Oh, there was a good topic we had earlier. I don't remember who started it. Who's the second best player on the? Is it Chet or
J-Dub.
J-Dub?
I think it's Chet.
J-Dub.
I think it's Chet.
I think it's
And-
so incredibly close.
It is close, for sure. You remember earlier in the season, I may have said something a little stupid that might have been a hot take. And this was before, I guess it was before the season, not the beginning.
What was it? don't
My
remember.
hot take was that Chet would be incredibly better than Victor Wembanyama.
Oh wow.
And I was even close to betting that Chet would be Rookie of the Year, which I'm glad I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because Victor has grown to be.
He's goated. He's a young
He's
goat.
pretty good. He's
Mhm.
pretty good. But Chet is also good.
100%.
And you know, it was sad to see him miss his first real season with a foot injury.
Mhm.
But you know, he's came back and he's playing a high caliber level of basketball.
100%. Super
In
high
terms of how young he is
Yeah.
and how young his team is and just how differently they're playing the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's great.
Yeah, 100%. My question. Well, first of all, Jolly, you didn't get to add J-Dub or
Oh, J-Dub.
J-Dub.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's so close, man. I think I am still Chet, but I love J-Dub. He's grown on me, you know. But my question for y'all is Chet a top 5 rim protector in the NBA?
Based on the numbers, yes.
I don't know. Based
I
on
think
it's up to you.
blocks
It's
per
like-
game. Pull up blocks per game real quick,
Sure.
Jarrett.
Yeah.
I know he's up there.
Yeah, you want to know who's number 1?
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I love Victor Wembanyama. Okay, let me see here. This should be pretty interesting. I know that like a lot of his advanced statistics when it comes to like rim protection are very, very, very good. Like elite level, like top 5 level. Where is he in actual blocks per game? Because it's mostly a deterrent thing. This can't be right. Where is he?
Is that just giving
Oh, that's
blocks
total.
per game right there?
Blocks per game. Chet Holmgren is
Number
5.
5,
So
right there. That's
Yeah.
my answer.
mhm.
You know, I know there's more.
there's more than Rudy
There's
Gobert.
more than just blocks when it
Mhm.
comes to being a rim protector. But
Mhm.
blocks are the core of being a rim protector. Like if you're
That's
a good
so
rim
accurate.
protector, you're gonna be blocking. You're gonna have the defensive knowledge of when my opponent is gonna go up for a shot, and more oftentimes than not, you're gonna be able to block them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what's surprising to me, look at this. Rudy Gobert has less blocks per game than Chet Holmgren. Which is kind of crazy.
It's close.
It is close.
Derek White.
Derek
Dang,
White, a
Derek
guard
White.
at 15.
Is he the highest guard?
Maybe. Let's take a look. Probably. That dude's a fucking beast. Yeah, he is. Because he's awesome. And we love Derek White. Wow, Barnes is at 1.5. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Your top 5, by the way, is Victor, Kessler, Lopez, Davis, and Holmgren.
All
So,
names
it's all
that
top 5.
are in the conversation when it comes to the best rim protectors in the game. I
Yeah.
mean, earlier, just here, 10 minutes ago, we were talking about how great of a rim protector Anthony Davis is.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Number 4 blocks per game.
It's definitely interesting. Wow, the top 3 are like tied at 2.4. That's really interesting. Sorry, I keep on feeling like I'll go on a tangent forever. What do you guys think?
It's a relevant
top
tangent.
5, Chet. Is he a top 5 rim protector in the NBA?
I say yes.
Thank you, Dr. Bill Kaiser.
Thank you for your...
Joel was
Joel.
saying based on statistics that he is. I'm saying based on feel he's not.
Wow.
Okay.
Why do you say that?
It's just a feeling.
It's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Always
You just
trust
gotta-
your
you just
gut.
gotta trust your gut. Yeah,
You
exactly.
always trust your gut.
I think Mark Dagnall has done an incredible job with his defensive schema this year. People talk about the offense a lot with how Chet spaces the floor, which is
Mhm.
the other half of why he's so incredibly useful to OKC. But I think there is an argument that just from like raw like schema, I don't know, because he fits so well in the scheme.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's just
Give
talk
it
about.
another year or two, and Chet. I want to see Chet like gain a little bit of weight,
Mhm.
and that's not me being like insensitive about that. That's just
Mhm.
like from a basketball standpoint, because like you see guys like Anthony Davis,
Mhm.
he's gonna bully him,
100%. Yeah.
bully him. Like
That's why the
all
Lakers
those,
wanna drop
all
their
that talk of being a great rim protector, out the door.
Mhm.
You know, when you remember his injury that had him out for a full season, it was a summer league game that he was playing LeBron James. LeBron James bumped into him,
Oh,
and
jeez.
it just destroyed his ankle, just destroyed it. And it was like very minimal contact.
So funny. I actually didn't know how he got injured.
Yeah, and it happened here in Seattle.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean,
We can talk about it a
unknown
later time.
location of.
Yeah,
dox. Do
definitely
not dox all of Seattle.
not here.
Okay. Okay.
We'll talk about
cool.
that one later.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just go through and say who we got, like between OKC or whoever the 8th seed is, and we'll do a quick blurb for everyone. Anyone?
OKC.
OKC, you're taking them over Sacramento, right?
I am, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like that
quick
that
thought?
would be a sweep even.
Wow, you have.
Yep.
Wow.
Or
okay.
maybe a general. I think they'll give them one.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And then
Awesome.
they'll go home and cry about it.
We should pick number of games for each of these, but you think
Now
they're
that
gonna
we're
go home and
in-
cry?
I think they are going to go home and cry.
Okay. So are you
Yeah.
picking 4 sweep or 5 games?
I'll say 5.
Okay.
OKC in 5.
Make sure you just mark that down somewhere because we want to track all this.
Do you need your charger?
No, my charger should be plugged in, but my computer just turned off. That's okay.
We're currently using my computer for our fireplace.
Very
nowadays.
important.
It's very,
Okay.
very
I'm
important.
waiting for an ad to pop up. So.
Me too.
But okay, cool. Joel, do you want to go next?
I've got Golden State over OKC.
Wow.
On this. Yeah, I
Holy.
don't see what OKC has. I don't
How?
Wow.
Oh
Talk-
shit!
Let's talk about how young OKC is, because that's been the narrative this year.
Second youngest team. in the
Second
NBA,
youngest
I
team
think?
in the. Who's the first?
Spurs. I'm
I-
pretty sure.
Makes sense.
I do see that being 6 games though.
6 games. Okay, very,
Okay.
very bold claim, if I do say so myself. Huge upset, 8 over the 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think their addition of Gordon Hayward
fuck no.
really help skew up their age?
No. Yes,
Was that what they were going for?
Yeah. They were like, we need to be taken seriously.
We need an old guy.
Wasn't he like good or something?
He was. He used to be good.
Really good.
Was he good this season or
No.
He was good. He was. It's weird because he
He's
was
not
injured for
bad.
so much of it, you know, and like
That's been the story of his whole career.
I know, but
Scary injuries too.
I know
Injuries that's like he's not coming back to this.
I
Like
know.
he's done, and then there he is.
He's
White men can ball.
Didn't they give up like 2 drafts? That's the takeaway. When you have Luka and Jokic
Yeah,
cooking
only
the
if
league, you have,
But Gordon
better
Hayward.
examples.
only when they're from Europe.
Yeah, not Gordon. Yeah, no.
I've seen a few of their games with him, and he just seems so useless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
like an extra.
he's like a 5 point per game player, maybe a little higher than that, but
Okay. So you have OKC. You have the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
You have
I have OKC beating the Pelicans.
okay.
You have OKC.
Again.
6 games.
6 games.
Okay.
Okay. Pretty cool. Okay. Do you want to elaborate on anything? Should be pretty interesting. Battle. I want to see how Zion plays against Chet, if that does come up, or how well Chet deters Zion. But
Yeah, I'm sure Zion will play well, but the Thunder are just too good.
yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything else, Dr. Bill Kaiser?
No.
Thank you, Dr. Bill Kaiser.
Thank you,
Um,
Dr. Bill.
Okay, and yeah, I'll just round this out. I have Golden State in 7.
Okay.
And I think this is going to be the best
All right.
frickin' series in the first round of the
Come
Western
on, man.
Conference.
I'm over here saying you can't count Miami out, and you're like Golden State's
I
gonna
don't care.
beat OKC.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Why?
Who is this guy?
An unbiased man.
Why are you?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah,
very-
clearly unbiased. No, I'll be honest. I
don't
think this
you could
game.
be any more biased.
I think this game is going 7. I think the series is going 7 games, regardless. And then it was so close in my head that because if you look at the games that they actually played, all of them were close, like very close. And the
OKC
thing
has
about
had
the
a lot of those
Warriors,
games this year, where against good teams it's close, but they're
Mhm.
coming out on top.
they come out on top a lot. I think they
But
have the
they're
winning
close.
record, but they like 2 of the most entertaining games early in the season were OKC versus Golden State, and it was 2 separate times. Like Chet had that insane game winner, and the other one, there was the game winner that Steph had, where it was controversial because
remember that one.
Giddey touched the net and Draymond touched a rim, and
Oh,
they
that
rolled
was-
it a basket.
Completely basket interference.
I don't think so because I was big into it in the time. I don't remember why.
I saw the Chet, wasn't it a 3 that he hit to win the game?
Yeah, and
like
then
a
Josh Giddey
turnaround.
shook his hand. It was weird.
But I don't
But-
remember the other one.
The
Where-
Steph layup is
Yeah.
the in-season tournament. It's
Okay.
just a big
I'll
deal.
look
The
that
ball
one
was
up.
still on the rim, and Draymond tapped it in.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest
Maybe I
thing,
did see that.
the biggest differential. I have some notes. First of all,
Okay.
I'm a Warriors fanboy.
Yep. That's all right.
Yeah, I know. I'm good.
You're allowed to be a fanboy here on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
On ball Limberous.
On ball, Limberous.
Yep.
Something I'm worried about is SGA has been slower since the league cracked down on its. He has slowed down since he cracked down on free throw rate, which plays first of all greatly into Golden State's advantage. They're
Because they foul so much.
no, because they're 29th in free throw rate. So they already don't get a lot of free throws, and they're literally clips of. I mean, again, I'm a fanboy, so this might be
Well, I
biased.
swear every interview from Steve Curry's like, we need to stop fouling.
Yeah, they do foul a lot. In fact, I think they're one of the top. Like
They're young guys.
I looked it up. Like, no, I'm talking about Golden State, which
Oh.
leads into my
No,
other
no,
thing
no.
is OKC has like no playoff experience. So I think SGA is going to slow down because he does get a lot of his points through free throws, and that's been something that's
Garrett,
been
I'm saying
happening.
that the younger guys on the Golden State Warriors are the ones that are fouling. Who's the guy that?
Yes and no. It's a team problem. Like it's not one dude, but what
I know it's not one dude, but you know
or
it's
one or two. Or you have Kuminga, Moses Moody, like
Yep.
Trace Jackson Davis, and Pajemski.
Those
which
are
I really
younger
like
guys.
Pajemski. But anyway, that's my hot take. I think this is going to be an incredible series, one way or
Okay.
the other. So I'm actually having Golden State in 7 because I'm pulling the homer pick. But
That's all right.
it's I think SGA is just going to slow down. I think the difference in playoff experience, especially with Steve Kerr's proven history of adaptability versus Mark Daigneault, who has been relatively untested, I think it's going to be a really interesting
What about
series.
their 3-1 lead against the Cavs?
Oh,
How
you
did
mean in
Steve-
the conference
How
finals?
did Steve Kerr adjust to that?
When I think Draymond, is that the year Draymond got ejected? I know Clay
Yeah,
got
he
injured, and then I think KD got injured.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh, against the Raptors.
No, it was against.
And
the
that
Cavs,
was also
'cause
the
when
game-
They blew the 3-1 lead.
Oh no, KD did not get injured. KD wasn't playing yet. He was on the Thunder.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Remember
Draymond
the
got suspended.
Draymond got suspended. That was the year Draymond got suspended. I think Bogut got hurt. Yeah, I got my.
Remember the
Years
clip of LeBron James traveling and then missing the open layup at like the very end of that game?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I'll
Okay.
send that one to you.
Sorry,
That's a good clip.
I talked about that for way too
I'll
long.
find it.
and I
He
apologize.
like takes like a 3-step Euro step.
It's really
then
bad.
airballs it.
It's
It's
bad.
like-
It's bad.
Oh man.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to
Moving on.
the next series: Denver versus question mark. Who do we got?
Lakers there. I got Lakers
Lakers.
there. Yep.
You're taking
Well,
the
no.
Lakers
I'm
over-
saying
Oh,
I
I
have the
got
Lakers
you. I was
in
like,
the.
what
Yeah.
the
You're good.
heck?
You're good.
Let's just go in a circle.
I think this is gonna be undisputed.
Denver. and
Denver.
4.
In 4,
Sweep.
I would say the Lakers didn't get swept by the Nuggets last year, right?
They did.
Mhm.
They did. I thought they gave them 1,
Mm-mm.
but they made them all close, right?
They were all competitive.
Yeah.
though.
I feel like I know Denver's gonna win, and
Mhm.
Denver is the pick to make here against any team that you have there in the 7 seed.
Mhm.
But Denver, it's just a whole new style of basketball that Jokic is bringing to the game, with his compatibility with Aaron
It's so
Gordon.
nuts.
It's beautiful to watch. Like
Mhm.
it just is. That's all I can say about it. And I don't see this series going anything further than 5 games,
Mhm.
4 or 5 games. But I'll
You're
just
going
for the
Denver
I'll go 5.
Okay.
Denver in 5.
Denver in 5. Joel, what you got?
I've got the Pelicans in 5.
Damn! You
Wow.
said Warriors and Pelicans.
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Care to elaborate?
No, not really.
Okay.
I just know it's gonna happen.
You just know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna have the perfect bracket.
I know.
And people are gonna
You
be
guys
so
are laughing
confused.
at me now, but
Give it a month. Okay, perfect. And Dr. Bill Kaiser?
Yeah, I got Denver in 4 over the Lakers.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right. They're the same teams as they were last year,
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
basically.
How do you think this will affect LeBron James' legacy? Losing in such a horrible fashion 2 years in a row.
He's the oldest player in the NBA.
He is. That is true.
And he has carried his team
He
this entire season.
is great.
Do you guys remember at the beginning of the season when LeBron had a minutes restriction that lasted 1 game? That was it. It lasted 1 game. Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah. The last note that I just have on this super quick is this is really interesting. The difference in pace of play is ridiculous. Denver is very slow.
very slow.
And the Lakers are very fast. In fact, they're the 4th fastest versus the 4th slowest, so it's going to be a
Dang.
good thing to look at. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun watching this every time because it is 2 greats between LeBron and Jokic in particular.
Yep.
But that's all I had to say about that.
Do you think
Yeah, no
Jokic has the potential to, let's say theoretically here, this is a tangent question, but I'll
Mhm.
make it quick.
Okay.
Become the GOAT.
If he were to play as long as LeBron has, do you think that he's close to his ceiling? Do you feel like he could become the GOAT?
No. He wasted too much time early in his career.
That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Bill.
Dr. Bill Kaiser.
And he's like stays as good like LeBron has for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Charles right. Because LeBron, it's not just the longevity.
you're right.
Like, he was being debated with MJ like 10 years ago.
True.
Which is insane.
That was. I just wanted your opinion on her.
You concur?
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Incredible. Thank you.
Okay, so that is the Denver versus blank spot. Some hot takes. Everyone write down the number. Again, how many? Did you say the number of games?
Yeah, 5 games.
5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Pelicans are just gonna make quick work of them, right?
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
They really are.
What's your bet?
Well, if you think about it, oh, here you go.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. If no one else has anything to say, let's move on to 3-6. Okay. Anyone want to start? This is Minnesota versus Phoenix.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Bill Kaiser. Okay, I guess I can start things off here. I'm going to go Minnesota in 7. Just some quick points. I'll try to make this as quick as I possibly can. Cat's coming off of injury. I think that's huge. I think Anthony Edwards has carried them. I think Anthony Edwards' defense is going to go to a whole nother level come playoff time. We can see what he does when he locks down. I think he's one of the best guard defenders when he's locked in.
Keyword win.
Yeah, but I mean, come playoff time, that dude's the most competitive motherfucker I've explicit tag. It's okay. So I just wanted to bring that up really quick. I think Minnesota has more than enough resources defensively to contend with a lot of Phoenix's threats, primarily the big 3. But I'm giving the Suns 3 games, and the reason why is you have Booker. It's the big 3. I think each of them can win you a game. Booker, Durant, and Bol can each win you a basketball
Who does
game.
this guy think he is?
Bol.
Doesn't
baby.
Shaq love
Yes,
Bol
he
Bol?
does.
And I swear, every
He coached
time
him.
every time I see him talk about the Phoenix Suns, he's like, and Bol is just doing so great. It's
know,
like,
he's a beast.
come on, Shaq. Like, let's be real here.
Mm-hmm. But
He's
he's Bol, the next great Victor Wembanyama. Okay, that's my pick. So I have Minnesota in 7. Thoughts?
I've got Minnesota in 6.
I'll be right there with you, Dr. Bill.
I won't be there.
Well, yeah. You
Oh
got,
yeah, are you taking the Suns?
Yeah, I've got Suns in 7.
Oh
Okay.
shit. Okay. Do you care to elaborate further?
I just see the Suns winning this. I don't know. I see them going far, honestly.
Very, very interesting.
You have a
So-
lot of confidence in Durant.
You're a KD dick rider, is what you're telling us.
Oh, so you hate what's something?
LeBron James.
Yeah.
Oh, so you hate LeBron James?
I hate LeBron James.
Wow.
You just came out and said it.
Can we clip that?
That'll be our first short. Okay, so you have Suns in. You
Yeah.
say 7?
7.
Okay. This is interesting.
I'm
We
with
all.
Dr. Bill here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a close one.
Yes.
Like, Phoenix, there's been a lot of narratives. And I guess even just their playoff performance last year, it was embarrassing. Against the Mavericks, it was embarrassing.
That wasn't last year, was it?
That was 2 years ago, sorry.
Yeah.
Where did Phoenix make it last year?
The Nuggets.
And then they lost. But yeah, I think since that Phoenix and Mavericks series, I don't know. I just can't see them going far when they play like that. When they had Chris Paul, who is one of the smartest basketball players in our time, and Kevin Durant, who is one of the greatest shooters of our time, and then Devin Booker, who is he's Devin Booker. Like, love or hate the guy, He's Devin Booker.
Okay.
Like he is a bucket getter.
He's a bucket getter.
And, to have them collapse like that to Luka, it hurt
It's their comeback
how
year.
I saw them. And I don't think they made much of an improvement with Bradley Beal.
No.
I would
think they
take
got worse.
Chris Paul over Bradley Beal any day of the week.
Right now, that's an insane take.
I know that's an insane take, but I'm talking more of just like in his career.
Well, yeah,
I know.
feel
So
like a lot of people.
So it wouldn't be like right now, because like right now, Bradley Beal. I mean, we were looking at this earlier today. Bradley Beal has been close to the top of the league in points per game over the last 5 years.
6 years.
5 or 6 years. Chris Paul, little bit past his prime, but I don't know. I just feel like with Chris Paul, anything is possible.
Except
so
a
good.
ring.
Except for
for
a
winning.
ring. And
Well.
except for beating Luka Doncic and the Mavericks.
He did hit a huge dagger.
Yeah. Is this the dagger?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, perfect.
Yeah, I don't see this. They've had the whole season to put it together, and they haven't.
Yep.
Fun fact, just really quick. This was the other game that actually happened today. Was Minnesota Phoenix.
Yeah, and Phoenix won.
And Phoenix won. So
Phoenix did win.
Did you guys see the game Phoenix against the Clippers, where they're down like 30-4?
Yeah, I watched that game.
Yeah.
I watched that game. Yep, it was bad.
It doesn't get much worse.
Yeah, no, they're
Yeah.
and they've been falling apart in fourth quarters.
I watched like the breakdown of it too, and it was just like, it didn't even like look like they were getting their butts kicked, but they were. Like, Kevin Durant was just missing them left and right. Booker was throwing up like the kind of shots that Chaw here takes, where it's like,
I'm a great bucket getter.
you're a great bucket getter, but sometimes it's a stretch, You're
Yeah.
like doing a little too much and like jumping away. That was a lot of those that were missed. And, the Clippers were just playing good ball that game.
Mm-hmm.
There was another game, Suns game that I watched that I was talking to Chaw here about. Who was that against? Doesn't matter. But a statistic that I saw, it was like over 70% of the points scored were either scored or assisted by Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
That's nuts.
And that's excluding Bradley Beal. I think he was either sitting that game or on limited minutes for something.
That's
But
crazy.
they're both bucket getters, and they know how to win, and they know how to do it. But when they are up against the Titan of Minnesota with
Minnesota's so good.
with the weapons that they have, I just don't see it going any other way than Minnesota. But I'm keeping it competitive. It's going to be in 6.
Okay. Cool. That's a tight race. I think all of us had it in 6 or
6 or 7.
7, right?
Yeah.
Cool. It should turn out to be a good series. Okay. I'm just going to jump to the 4-5 matchup. We've seen this one coming for a few days. It's Los Angeles Clippers, Dallas. What's the start us off?
Clippers all the way.
All the way? And how many games?
I don't want to say all the way to the finals, but they're doing stuff.
They are doing stuff.
This concept of, we were just talking about Phoenix, how Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker haven't figured it out. I really think that the Clippers have. And I was a hater. I was very skeptical of their team towards the beginning of the season. I was like,
It's hard not to be
What?
a hater when they go 0-7, right? With James Harden.
exactly.
you know who wasn't a hater?
Exactly.
This dude.
You are right. I will.
I said
I will
this would
give
be
you
a
that.
great time to bet on the Clips for the championship.
I'll give you that. You did say that. They figured it out, and I don't know what makes them different from the big 3 in Phoenix, and that's a whole different conversation of what Phoenix hasn't done that the Clippers have done this year.
and minimal signing of
That is
Russell
true.
Westbrook.
Yep.
I think those two things are the biggest things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
And
think
the Clippers are deep.
they are.
What about? We haven't really talked about like Luka very much.
We
Not
haven't.
Like Luka is so scary.
Yeah.
Luka is so scary, and the Mavs have been hot, man. I mean, I don't have it right in front of me, but I want to say they're like 8-2 in their last 10, and they've just been on a freaking roll.
They just lost.
In fact,
right?
I'll look it up. I think they lost today, but
They didn't play. Oh, they got smoked,
They didn't-
right?
they didn't play their starters,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It was like complete second string guys, and they were playing the Thunder, who was playing their starters. So it's so I mean,
So excluding the last game.
excluding the last game, I mean, a lot of dubs. 2, 4. Oh my gosh, 2, 4, 6.
Were there any like?
It was 8-2, and
There were a couple blowouts.
they lost
too.
to the Pistons because I think they literally just. Let me look at the box score. Did they start their starters? I mean, they have been hot, man. Like hot. Sear. Yeah, no, I mean they started Gafford in Washington, but I mean, yeah, no, they've been hot. So I think it's really scary. Okay, so in how many games do you have the Clippers?
I want to say in 5.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I
wild.
really. I mean,
Write
I
it
like
down.
Luka. I'm gonna write it down right
Sign
now.
it.
I like Luka, but
So you're
we're
MVP.
talking Kawhi.
That
We're
is-
talking Paul. We're talking pandemic.
Pandemic Paul.
Yeah,
Did you see his game winner that he hit a couple nights ago?
I didn't.
No, I did
He
not.
dropped Evan Mobley.
I believe
in a
it.
game winner. Like a great defender in Evan Mobley, and dropped him on a step back game winner. It was nuts. Anyway,
I like the Clippers,
Uh-huh.
and James Harden is getting very close to the end of. Well, I don't want to say very close, but in terms of his prime, and in terms of him being a key piece in a team that makes a playoff run, like if he was to leave the Clippers, where would he go, and who would want him? And I think that was kind of the narrative when he left the Sixers, is that we don't want this guy. He is a complainer, and he is not as great as everyone says he is. Like, yeah, he leads the league in assists. Yeah, he dropped 50 on the Celtics, but he's just not the kind of guy that has this, I don't want to say predetermined, but like
he's a
has
system.
that grit.
Sorry.
He is the system.
He is the system. Yeah. Well, yeah.
So I think just if he can recognize that he needs to play well this series and in these playoffs, I think that is going to be
Does
the
that mean
key.
in years past you just thought he didn't
He didn't
recognize?
care.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Shit. Nah,
Yep.
I don't know. It'll be interesting for sure. I mean,
In
yeah,
years
we'll see.
past, he's either dribbled the ball up and put up a 3, or he's dribbled the ball up, faked a foul, and shot 30
Yeah.
free throws a game.
What's funny is he's kind of still that player, but it just works
Yeah.
better when you have two
He's good
all-star
at selling
caliber.
it.
He has 2 all-star caliber off-ball
I don't think.
players, or players that can be off-ball
Here's a hot take.
or take ISO with both.
I don't think I've ever seen Kawhi have like a stretch of games where he's off. And like excluding an injury, because that doesn't really count because he's not in. But like when it comes to who in this league is getting buckets and playing some of the best D I've seen, Kawhi's my guy.
Yeah, Kawhi's a
And
beast.
that corner 3 that
Broke your heart.
that broke my heart. I cried that night when
Oh my gosh.
when everyone, man, that picture of Kawhi hitting that 3 where it just
Awesome.
rattles on the rim, and everyone's like down. Oh man, that would have been the year for the Sixers. That really would have. I won't get too into that.
You know what's-
But against Kate, I mean, I guess he got hurt, but he might not have gotten hurt.
That was the year.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be
That was
favourites,
it.
so.
Here, no, not if KD doesn't get hurt. I will say this. This is a really quick fact, and then we'll.
That
go
was the
around
year the
table.
Raptors went on to win it.
Yeah, because KD got hurt, but
And they had Kawhi Leonard.
they
and-
have Kawhi Leonard,
Yep.
who one of the best playoff performances ever. But we won't get into that right now.
So Kawhi's a goat for that.
That he
That's all
is
I'm saying.
definitely a playoff riser, no doubt about it. I mean,
Yep.
even last year against Phoenix, he was balling like without Paul George
Until he got hurt.
until he got hurt, unfortunately.
Yep. And then
Um,
Westbrook was balling.
And then Westbrook was balling, but he wasn't enough. I will say this really quick, just because it's a really funny anecdote.
Go ahead.
My brother has watched maybe 30 seconds of NBA basketball in his lifetime.
That's
and-
unfortunate.
I know, it's too bad. But he did see live Kawhi Leonard's game-winning Game 7 shot.
You know, I went to a
Which is
Clippers
insane.
game.
Isn't that nuts?
I went
Yeah.
to a Sixers Clippers game, and I was so excited to see Kawhi play, and they sat him. And
That
they
sucks.
sat him.
That's too bad.
Yep, I went all the way to the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles it was mostly to see the Sixers play, but
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi did not play, and I was very sad about that.
Yeah. He's a beast, man.
Yep.
He's the claw. Okay. So you have clips in 5.
I have clips in 5, and I'm gonna hold to that.
Okay.
And when Dallas comes out, guns blazing, I'll be the first one to say I was wrong.
Mm-hmm. What about when the clips come out blazing?
Then I'll
And then
say
they start talking trash.
you
And then
idiot.
Dallas says it's easy to talk when you're
It's
up.
easy to it's easy
Go
to
back.
talk. Everyone talks when they're up. What is he? He doesn't.
That's so
He
funny.
like did that. He's like, everybody talks when they're up.
Yeah, he's crazy for that.
He was.
And then Chris Paul bit the
he
dagger.
came out. That's
Okay.
like one of the most savage moments in.
What, the Chris Paul's dagger?
No,
It's
no. When Luca was like,
I
everybody
know.
talks when they're up, just to come back and just
Show
destroy
what's up.
them. Oh, it wasn't even close. There are very few games that I watch where I just turn it off because I just like it's that bad of a blowout and it's that
Wow.
bad of basketball. An example would be in the NCAA tournament this year.
Mhm.
One of the UConn games where UConn went on a 30-0 run.
Mhm.
I turned that game off.
That's
I was
insane.
like, yeah, it's crazy.
I think there was only one like 30-0.
Very
Run
few
in
have
an
happened
NBA
in the
game this
history of the NCAA. Well, I guess it'd be a little easier for that to happen when you've got like
Still
a
nuts.
powerhouse that matches up against like some random
Yeah,
college in the
for
middle
sure.
of nowhere with like farmers that play
Well,
on their
yeah.
team. But
Yeah.
in the NBA, like those kind of numbers, I don't think you would ever see that. But
Mhm.
my point being, what is my point?
I don't know.
What?
I have no idea where you're going with this. You just started talking about UConn.
we were talking about savage moments of that game where they were down,
I don't
where
remember.
Phoenix was down 40 points.
Yeah.
It was like 38 points. Chris Paul cuts the lead to 38 or something
Yeah.
like that. Where it's just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah,
Like,
turn it off.
turn it off, you know?
That's a game 7 of
What
playoff
makes you turn a game off?
series. Luka Doncic.
Wow.
In terms of dominance.
In terms of, I think that's a
Yeah.
very fair. That's not even a hot take.
This
It's
will
like,
be-
what can you do against it?
I don't know. This is my last question, then we'll just go in a circle and
Go
see
ahead.
what we got.
Yep.
But Luka Doncic, your MVP this year, and everyone's. Who you got for
Ooh.
MVP? Is it Luka? Luka?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This was like a week ago. Jokic, there was a question that was asked to him
Mm-hmm.
in the media, and he just kind of like said that it's getting ridiculous. Like,
Oh
it's
yeah, I saw
not,
that. Mm-hmm.
you know, the fact that Embiid got it last year instead of Jokic, you know, I'll take my fan hat off and set it to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic should have been MVP.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And there should not have been any of this. Well, he got it last year, and Embiid is doing this. Jokic was the MVP.
Voter
But
fatigue.
that's what happens every year.
Exactly. So like, the vote of who is like that's such a stupid award, like because there's just so many factors that each of these guys put in their team. Like yeah, they're seen for that. You know, you've got Luka, the guys that are in the conversation for who is the MVP, but when you just choose one and you forget about the rest, it's like, what does this award really mean? And like what did, let's say Luka wins it. What did Luka do that Jokic hasn't? And I'm sure you can find something that he's
35, 10, and 9.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my point is that it's so hard to just like choose one guy. I feel like the MVP award should be like maybe like three guys. And I know that's like
Nah, that's
like
what all NBA
stupid.
teams are for, dude.
Yeah.
My point is, he's a top contender, and you have him losing in 5.
I do.
But
I really do.
that's okay.
And I have my
Clippers are good.
opinions about that.
That's fine. Let's go in a circle. Jal, who you got winning?
Yeah, I got the Clippers in 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Clippers. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Here, let's go in a circle. That's how we should do it. We should just go in a circle and then give thoughts, like at the end or whatever. So, like, who do you have, for example?
I have Dallas in 7.
Oh, you're taking Dallas. Oh my goodness.
I like that it's in 7, so it's not just like
Yeah. Do you
it's
like?
gonna
it
be a
that's in
close game.
7? Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even though I said they're in 5, like they're gonna keep them competitive. Like Luka's gonna go out there and he's gonna ball. That's
Yeah.
like on an every night kind of basis.
They have been Dallas has been so freaking hot, like lately, and the Clippers have not been. But I'm gonna go with the Clippers as well. I'm gonna go with them with 7. I think it's.
Do
gonna
you
be a
think
really
your
close series.
decision is influenced by the fact that in the beginning of the season you said that they were gonna go far?
I do actually. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
okay.
I'm taking a couple of homer picks here in the West, but I also think just regardless, it's going to be a really close series. So why not
I would
just
agree.
go Clippers in 7?
Yep.
You know, I think it just depends on how much how dominant Luka is. But I do think that the Clippers have enough big, like wing type defenders to at least slow Luka in a 1v1 space. So that is my thought. Anything really to add about the Clippers versus Dallas?
Do you think Luka's gonna play defense?
No.
I don't think so
I
either.
think he's going to get the game-winning swat.
Pin it against the backboard and
Yeah,
stuff.
pin it against the backwards.
It's so
Blocked
funny.
by Lucas.
I don't think I've ever heard that
It's so funny.
other than in the All-Star game when him and Jokic were like just like messing around.
Mhm.
Like, oh,
That's so funny.
I cannot remember the last time Luka got a block.
It's
Can
been-
we fact check that real
Actually,
quick?
yeah. Hold on.
Please.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna look up Luka Doncic.
How many blocks does Luka have this season? Let's
Yeah.
take our guesses.
I just want to see blocks per game. To be honest, Luka. I'm gonna say 0.4.
0.1.
0.4. Let's see here. Guesses? Oh wait, it doesn't show right.
I'll
here.
say 0.2.
Go with 0.3.
0.3. You're taking the Logan?
That's still pretty good.
9.
0.9.
Yeah.
That is.
Luka's a machine.
Is he? Let's see.
Well, it
here.
depends. What do they count as a block? Like if they obstruct the shot and it,
Oh, that doesn't say per game. Why isn't that per game?
BPG, Garrett.
Well, it looks like
30
he has
per game?
30.
30 blocks per game.
He has 38 blocks for the
Victor
season.
Wembanyama ain't
In
got
70
shit on
games.
that.
Where the fuck is?
You talk to me
blocks per
when
game?
Victor gets
It's-
30 blocks per game.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's 0.5.
0.5. Okay.
Kind of in between all of
In
us.
between all of us.
Yeah,
Who picked
Where
0.4?
did- Can we put that in perspective?
me?
Let's.
I think so.
I'm a
Who's like
beast.
a comparable guard?
Trae Young.
Trey Young. How many
To
blocks
Luka?
per game does Trey Young have? Do you think that Trey Young
In terms
has?
of blocks per game,
In terms of blocks per game.
Yeah.
Oh, Trae Young, he's got to have at least.
it will always.
Do you
be
think
there.
he has more?
Yes.
I think so too. Let's look real quick.
Trae Young is my MVP. No, I don't think he
I
has
don't
more.
think he actually has more. But
What?
That's
What's
just
a meme?
okay. But how much taller is Luka than Trae Young? like 4 inches.
Well, you still said that he has more. So.
Well,
see.
I say that
Trae
he
Young-
plays better defense than Luka.
They're both like piss poor. He has 0.2.
0.2?
Yeah. All right. We're way off
Okay,
topic.
well, he's not a comparable guard.
I'm gonna reel us back in, and we're gonna go to the East, unless anybody has anything really. Oh,
I think our speculative conversation about whether or not Luka will play defense is really going to impact this series, and that is why I have the Lakers in. I'm not the Lakers. Sorry, the Clippers in 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't see Dallas doing what they did 2 years ago to the Suns.
Yeah, I mean, the Clippers are my favorite team, but I'm a Washington Commanders fan, so so I will never ever expect a team that I like to win. So that's why I have the Mavericks winning.
Okay.
I do think the Clippers.
What a humble man.
I do think that the Clippers are the better team.
Can we also
the Mavericks have been hot too?
Can we also do like an inverse bracket for
For
like
what?
every game that we picked winning, we'll switch, and that'll count as a bracket too.
I don't think that works.
Yeah, because then you have to.
Well,
The second round would fall apart. Anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
all right, we're going to the East. Here's the deal. Let's all go in a circle, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. We'll start with the 1-8. We're going to go Boston versus question mark. Does anybody have Boston losing?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've got.
Care to elaborate?
I've got Philly
please,
over them.
please elaborate.
Wow.
You have Philly over them. Why? Just because Joel's been so good?
Pretty much.
Okay. Cool.
I really,
Fair enough.
I want to agree with you here. I do. As a fan, I want to see Philly succeed, and
Well, you've got,
I haven't. I
you've got
haven't.
Miami in that game.
Yeah. No, that's.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, so
Yeah,
you don't gotta worry about that. Don't worry.
No, don't gotta worry about that right now.
Is this the year where Miami
That would
blows
be.
a 3-0
That
lead?
would be in
What?
Blows a 3-0 lead to the Celtics.
the next round.
Never mind. Last year they almost.
Yeah,
won,
I have
but-
Miami there
Yeah.
because I had them losing to Philly
Okay.
in the play-in.
Sounds good. How many games for both of you guys?
I've got 6.
6. Okay. That's at least some respect toward Boston. How many do you have? For
I think Boston in 4.
sweep
I
against
think
Miami, the Zombies.
I know that I'm like, oh, you can't count Jimmy Butler out, but with the addition of Porzingis, Boston is just a whole different animal this year, and they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
And they have dominated the East all season
I know.
long.
Dominated
I
the
don't
NBA.
think there has been. If we were to go to the first week of the season, Boston was a 1 seed. Now at the end of the season, Boston is a 1 seed, and that has not changed all season long. That is crazy.
That's crazy.
And I think I saw a stat about Boston having one of the best at-home win-loss percentages this year. But I mean, they've
They
won a
lose,
lot
like,
of
2?
games.
I think they only lost like 2 games the entire year.
Something like
Which is
that.
insane. At
Which
home.
way to show out for your home team.
For real. I'll look it up really quick.
Go
actually.
ahead.
But
On the
okay,
road,
so you have
on the road games.
sure
versus-
you have
I have Boston, and
you
it's
have Boston
it's
in
at
4. Okay.
it starts out at Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
So they're already
I don't know
they're
where to
gonna
find
be
this
up 1-0 statistically and on paper, and I just see Boston taking that train and just running, just full steam ahead. Boston in 4.
Okay. Cool. Boston 4. I also have Boston 4 over Philly. I'm sorry. I think Philly's a top 10 team this year, but Boston might be a top 10 team all time, at least if you count net rating for anything. I'm going Boston in 4.
I've got Boston and 4 over Miami.
Okay.
I think if Miami wins one game, they'll win the series, but I think Boston
Whoa.
will win in 4.
That's crazy. Really?
Isn't that what happened when Miami beat Boston last year? Where it was like, I can't remember.
It was Miami. Miami got up 3-0, and then they almost
Right.
gave.
That's
it
what
back
it was.
because
and-
it was
yeah,
game
that's
7.
what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they just barely squeezed out at the end.
Yeah,
But-
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all have Boston in 4, except for Jal with the hot take of
Very.
30 and 6. Cool. Yeah, and I think they would usually get a game, maybe, if Joel was
If he's-
not recovering.
What if he comes out and he balls?
Then there's a chance.
Then they're gonna get one.
That
game
they get
on-
a
you,
game.
You're gonna give
I
them
don't
one game in that series.
Yeah.
I think that is disrespectful to the MVP. Disrespectful to the scoring
No,
leader.
it's not, dude.
That is disrespectful
Luka
to
Doncic?
basketball.
Luka Doncic, the scoring leader.
No, I was talking about last season.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair enough.
You gotta
Okay.
respect Joel Embiid.
I do respect Joel Embiid.
Respecting that, no, if you respect Embiid, you're not having Boston sweep
I
there.
have Boston sweeping the East.
Wow, that. Okay,
I don't think they're dropping a game until the finals. So
that is crazy. Has a team done that before?
I think Los Angeles, the Kobe and Shaq, Los Angeles Lakers swept the West, and then they lost game 1 to the 76ers. Actually, funny enough, with
Wow.
Iverson. Okay, cool. Anything else about Boston, Philly? Nothing.
Well,
This-
this is it would be.
Oh, or
Boston,
Miami.
yeah.
Sorry, Boston in
Yeah,
question
that's
mark.
why when you said Philly, I thought I
Right,
had
right,
Philly,
right,
but
right.
I have Miami there.
Yeah, you're all good.
Yep.
You're all good. It's weird trying to do this kind of
Yeah.
like, and I also, well, I'll get into that in a second. But
Just call out like the 1 and 8.
okay,
So like, what,
sure.
what do you think about the 1 and 8?
That's a good idea. So we'll do 2-7 next, which, for me at least, let's just go again in a circle. Say who we got and in how many games. There you go. Do you want to start, El Senor Dr. Kaiser?
I would love to start. I have the New York Knicks over Philly in 6 games.
Wow.
Dang. Okay.
All right.
For me, it's New York Knicks.
We'll
versus,
talk after.
Yeah. I have New York Knicks versus Miami, and I have the Knicks in 7. I do think this, if this does happen with Miami and the Knicks, I think it's going to be the best first series or first round series in the East at least. Go ahead. I guess just
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Oh, I said.
We're all good.
I have the Sixers versus the Knicks, and I have the Sixers, and that is, again, I'm taking my fan hat off here. I think no one does it like Joel, and Maxey. It's just the crew that the Sixers have. I just don't see them losing to the Knicks in
Oh
a
my God.
in a 7-game series. I'm sorry.
Wow. How many games did you say?
I'm still deciding. Cause like it's gonna be
That's wild.
competitive.
Yeah.
It's not like a Boston.
That's wild.
It's not like a 1-8 here where, like for
Right,
Boston,
it's a
you think
2-7.
they're gonna. You're right. It's not a
Which
1-8.
is
It's a
easy.
2-7.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I want to say that one goes to 7.
Okay. So you have Philly in 7.
Philly in 7.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll put that down.
Yeah, I've
You got
got
Joel?
Miami over New York in 4.
In
Ooh.
4.
Yeah.
I like it. I kind of like it.
Here's a random question.
Or a sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're about due for a random question. If every person in New York
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
had a sword, okay,
Uh-huh.
and they went down to Florida,
Sure.
and
Uh-huh.
every person in Florida had a sword,
Florida
They're
wins.
block.
Yeah, Florida wins.
Oh.
do you think Florida would win?
Yeah.
They're just bad shit.
And not
Crazy
just
They're crazy.
not just like whichever state has more people, because in that more swords, more people.
Yeah. So like the
More people, more
same amount
swords.
of people
So you're saying like you can only send
Yes, you can send like your top 1,000
soldiers
I'd say top 10,000 people.
Top 10,000 people?
Yes.
in a giant sword fight to the death.
And a giant sword fight to the death.
Yeah, Miami's taking that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gotta be New York. Aren't there like military people in New York?
There's some crazy people in New York.
But there's some crazier people in Florida.
I think
Yeah.
they're a different kind of crazy.
They're the kind of crazy that will just kill you.
Yeah, but they're not the kind of crazy that'd be good with a sword.
Dude, I can see some people rocking a crazy machete in the swampland.
Do you
of Florida.
think?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think that
You know what I'm
LeBron?
saying? How does this
Left-
affect LeBron's
No, no,
legacy?
no.
Oh, okay.
Do you
Left
think
South Beach.
LeBron left the Heat because there were too many crazy people in Florida?
I think that's part of it.
Uh-huh.
I think so too. Yep.
I mean, how long can you really live in Florida without becoming crazy yourself?
Wow. You
I
either
think that's a pretty deep conversation topic.
When you die.
guys help me.
Join in next
You
week
either
when we
live-
move to Florida.
live long enough.
No, you die sane or you live.
You
You're lucky enough to become a crackhead.
You either die sane or live long enough to be a Florida man. That is beautiful.
That
I
is
want that
beautiful.
on my tombstone.
It's pure poetry.
And
I'm
for
writing
that
that
for
down.
that
Oh,
reason,
that'd be cool.
for that reason, I died sane.
Wow. Wait,
Yep.
what?
That's why I want it on my tombstone.
You don't want to be a Florida man?
No, not really. I want to live in Florida, but for a very small
You're
amount
gonna
of
die.
no,
I want to die.
no. I just want to live in Florida just for a little bit. Where do you guys want to live?
My
I feel like we have done such a great job at
Seattle,
keeping this.
Washington.
We have,
Seattle's pretty nice.
let me just compliment all of you and your professionalism and the level of just respect for ball, other than Boston sweeping Philly in 4 games.
They're going to. Right.
We have done a very good job
Probably.
at keeping this on track and keeping it
Mhm.
good and keeping it fun.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, but let's just relax for a bit. Where do you guys want to live one day? Dr. Bill,
Dr. Bill.
where will you take your $1 million practice?
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
I like it here. in
Okay.
Washington.
Were you about to say Gig Harbor, Washington?
Whoa,
It's-
whoa, whoa, hey, whoa,
it's-
hey.
That's just a place in Washington I know of.
I was not about to say.
We have no affiliation with Gig Harbor, Washington.
That is a random
let me
city. I've never heard of
Let me
Gig
look
Harbor,
directly at the camera.
Washington.
I am not from Gig Harbor, Washington. Oh.
I would this might be a hot take, but I would actually I would live in the Chase Center, underneath the floorboards, and observe via audio
I would-
of the footsteps above me. That would be my dream living location.
I would live in your mom's wall.
bro.
Or
What the-
Florida.
What's
It's
the
one of-
difference?
Oh man.
Joel, thoughts?
Where would you live?
Here's pretty nice.
Here?
Yeah.
Not Gig Harbor,
My-
Washington. Sorry.
Here in my apartment?
Yeah, this apartment right here. That's what I mean.
No. I like this place.
And you would ruin it. That's so
Oh man.
funny.
I love you guys.
Love you too, buddy.
I love the game of basketball.
I wonder.
I just love the NBA.
This is my. You want to know?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how many times do you guys think we've fucked up our names
I only did it once. For
that you know of?
I think
Yeah.
I've heard you say it once, yeah.
that, just to
Yeah.
my friend right
Chawl.
here, Chawl.
Chawl, yeah.
Yep.
Chol limberous.
Chawl.
I'm gonna like
I don't
watch.
think anybody's messed up Dr. Bill Kaiser.
How
No.
How could
How
you
could
forget
you?
a name like
Well,
that?
that's his actual
That's like
name.
my real
So,
name.
why
Why would you say something like that?
Look directly in the camera and say, "I am."
Dr. Bill Cosby.
Oh my god.
We're gonna need to edit this like whole section out. I'm gonna like rewatch this
This
You need
podcast.
to cut everything else out.
There's a whole.
Just this. And then we immediately cut to the end where we're like, all right, that was our playoff bracket. And like, no. The entire discussion is cut out.
Man,
Okay.
okay, we'll make this quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna rewatch this podcast, and like the first like hour or so is just gonna be like so, just like
What do you think?
critical takes and like analysis of like games and players, and we just went off the deep end.
Mm-hmm. Let's just like speed
Roll it.
up and
Speed
not
up and-
care about
That's
like
true.
takes or whatever. I mean, share your opinion, but like, I don't know. Maybe still a quick blurb.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
if you want to go off the deep end, frickin' send it. That's what I say.
What if the recording stopped?
Yeah,
we're
good
just,
check.
we're just talking to nothing.
I was gonna like have us do like a pause and like see it. 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Guys, this is wonderful.
Uh-huh.
We need to.
We're not gonna shorten.
We need to
that.
go quicker.
But this is the playoffs.
Every game matters.
We'll run faster. Let's just get through
on
this.
another night, it would be a quick topic. But for something like the playoffs,
We just need to
We
go.
just-
Because the thing is, what's beautiful now is we've covered every team, except for
except for
these four.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey, let's
Garrett,
just. Who gives a shit
I'm
about
reeling you
Milwaukee?
back in.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry, Chaw. I'm
Oh
reeling you
my
back
god,
in.
what is wrong
That was
with
number
you?
2.
Okay. Let's get back into it. Let's do 3-6 Milwaukee, Indiana, and this is a speed round. So go.
I've got Indiana. The Pacers. I've got the Pacers in 5.
Okay. The Pacers in 5. That's really interesting. Why do you?
I think it's gonna mirror the Heat from last year, so it's 5 games against the Bucks,
They've been dominant against.
and the Bucks suck.
Strong against
The
yeah,
Bucks,
the Bucks
do
suck.
suck.
Losing record with Doc
I
Rivers. Never
hate-
forget.
The
I-
Bucks suck.
I hate
Mhm.
Doc Rivers. I'm sorry. Like if I saw that,
We
man,
know you're
he-
a
he just
Sixers fan.
he looks like a frog. That's why
That's
I
so
have
funny.
the pace. He does.
Yeah, he does kind of.
He looks
I
like.
can see it.
And like, that's no. I guess I shouldn't be insulting the way that he looks. He's a
Why
bad
not?
coach.
There you go.
He's a bad coach,
Oh my
and
gosh.
he thinks he's a good coach, and the league thinks he's a good coach,
For some reason.
and players. I don't know if the players really think that he's a
I
good
don't think
coach,
the
but-
players do. The players. I don't know. Anyway, I got.
Anyway.
Okay, so you got Indian 5. I like that. I like Siakam.
I am going with the same. And
You're also going
my,
with
my
Indian 5?
point
There you go.
my point
Lock it
was
in.
gonna be it's gonna be just like the Heat last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Pacers are a good team. They're coming off a competitive season. It's good to see them there
Yeah.
doing what they do.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got
Joel?
the Pacers in 4.
You have the Pacers sweeping the Bucks.
Yeah,
Wow,
I mean, just-
that's crazy.
Just think about it this way: like you have
Mhm.
you have a Buck, you have a Pacer. Pacer wins every time.
Pacer
That's
wins every
super
time.
true. No, I mean, the Pacers like a car, right?
Yeah,
So if you,
you just run it over.
well, shit, a buck
Yep.
would fuck up your car.
Yeah,
That's
but-
true,
Maybe it
but,
should be
but
in
the
seven.
Bucks would be
Dead.
dead.
The Buck is dead.
That's true. But what about your car? Okay. Here's okay. I'm just reading through my notes super quick, but they've. First of all, I'm going Milwaukee in 7. I think the talent there is just undeniable. I think it's dependent also on if Giannis is healthy.
Yep.
We don't know how long
Which-
his strain is going.
Yep.
I think it's calf strain.
I
is
saw you
what
looking
they
that
said?
up.
Yeah, but it just depends on him, and then I do think there's always the tax for like lack of playoff experience, which is something that Indy doesn't have a lot of.
Yep.
But hopefully the Siakam trade will help him out, maybe, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I got Milwaukee in 7. So I'm acknowledging that Indy has played Milwaukee very good, and that Doc Rivers is a shitty, terrible fucking coach.
Yep. Put that on the record.
And he should die in hell.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, moving on. Cleveland to Orlando. Thoughts, everybody?
I'll start out here.
Okay.
And Garrett, you already... Chaw, you know where I'm going with this.
Who the fuck is Garrett?
I don't know. I don't like Cleveland here. And I've never... I don't think I've ever liked Cleveland.
You are a Donovan Mitchell hater
I
because
am
you
a
love Ben
Donovan...
Simmons.
I do not like Spida. Not to discredit that he's a baller. I just don't like him. I hated all that drama that came out with him and Rudy Gobert and like that abysmal stat of like 2 passes a game from Spida to Rudy Gobert. That's crazy. That got me fired up. I was like, because I've been there before where you play with someone that thinks they're a lot better than they actually are, and like, I'm gonna be the guy.
Okay.
I am the system.
So let me spin you a riddle really quick.
Yep,
so
go ahead.
when Cleveland had probably the hottest month of any team in the NBA in January, when Evan Mobley and more importantly Darius Garland got hurt, he had a defensive-minded center who's good at rim rolling.
Jared
and
Allen.
it was him running the show.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell. And they were probably the best team in basketball when that was going on. So how are you going to hate on that?
I'm just still gonna hate on it.
Okay.
I don't.
There you go.
I didn't like the trade from day one. I really didn't. I just don't see Donovan Mitchell fitting in this Cleveland team like they want him to, and I like Darius Garland. I think he's a shifty guard that knows how to move the ball and
I like Darius
knows
Garland
how to
too.
pass it, and then you get this guy Donovan Mitchell that comes in and is just like, I'm the GOAT, and like I'm gonna shoot.
Good. Mm-hmm.
And for some teams and some systems, like that works. I'm thinking of like James Harden with the Rockets. I feel like it's very much that kind of basketball game with Cleveland, and it shouldn't be, because you've got guys like Garland, you've got guys like Jared.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. In fact, I think actually they should trade Donovan Mitchell within the next upcoming year because
Dang.
I don't see Cleveland going very far in this playoff, specifically with the Orlando. I think Orlando is actually super well equipped to handle both Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell because of their defensive guard play. Yeah, I mean, the thing
I
is...
see it's going to be competitive. I'm picking Orlando in 7.
In 7?
Yes.
Okay, write it down. Joel, who you got?
Yeah, I got Orlando in 6.
Orlando in 6. I like the young
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Not really.
Okay. Dr. Bill Kaiser.
I've got Cleveland in 7.
Okay.
Do you have anything to dispute my points, or where do you stand on that?
Yeah, give us a quick rundown.
Mitchell?
About Donovan Mitchell.
No comment.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
I'm good.
This is something that Chal and I
we
frequently talk about Donovan Mitchell.
It's because he should have won Rookie of the Year over Ben Simmons, and I still think it's ridiculous.
Ben Simmons was a Rookie of the Year.
It's because you're a Philly boy. Anyway, I also have Cleveland in 7. Just run through this.
I like
really
how we all have it at a very high.
Yeah, did you say 7 too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm going to actually lock that in. I have Cleveland in 7. I just think I think Bickerstaff is a great coach, and I think he is the type of coach that is extremely adaptable. I think Orlando just is. I'm giving them the too young tax. I actually really like Orlando. I really cannot wait to see Jalen Suggs on Donovan Mitchell.
Do you remember that one game that Paulo Banchero was mic'd up and he said the F word and the N word in like one sentence? Where
that's awesome.
He like, I don't know what happened. He like jammed his knee or something. He was just like walking and he just like stepped funny, and then you just like hear him like scream it, and I was like, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I love Paolo, dude.
Me too.
He was close to my.
He is gonna be a great.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the face of the league in like.
The face of the.
I don't want to say the face of. But
He's gonna be an
he's
all
gonna be
NBA
out
player.
there.
Made All-Star this year.
Yep,
Which is awesome.
he did.
Okay. Anything else? Just because trying to speed it up. But any other thoughts about like what we've done
We gotta speed it up
so far?
The 10-hour play stream is gonna end.
I just I have a confession to make, you guys. I made a fuck up on this sheet.
You did?
Golden on my sheet for you guys it should be OKC, except for you, Joel, because you have Golden State as well. They should be playing the Clippers because the 1 should play the 4. You see what I'm saying? I did it in order. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, counting down. Do you see? Because so basically, you'll have OKC versus Dallas here, and Denver versus Minnesota. That's my bad. I've messed it up. But
Oh yeah.
do you see what I'm saying? So OKC should be playing the Clippers for you, and then for you it's the Warriors and Did you have the Clippers?
Yeah.
Okay, so that I did on both sides. So these two teams will face each other, and these two teams will face each other, and then the winners will move up there.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
The
that's
middle in middle.
The middles here, and then the outers here, because I went 1, 2, 3,
Dang it,
4.
that changes a lot.
For the I know. But hopefully it hasn't affected anything up until now. So, which is why I'm trying to get ahead of it. So, with that being
Now
said,
we gotta go back and.
That's crazy.
Now I'm just confused.
No, don't be confused.
it shouldn't have changed anything. But you were.
Well, now that matchup just doesn't happen.
No, yeah.
Now the Denver. Now we're talking Denver and whoever wins between, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Denver and OKC.
Yeah.
So we'll go back real quick.
To where? We're live right now.
Well,
Because, basically all this changes is OKC plays.
Yeah,
Los Angeles Clippers.
Cover any of that stuff.
oh, okay.
Do you see what
I
I'm
thought
saying?
I thought you were saying it was flipped that way.
No.
No,
what
we're
I'm
good
saying
then, we're
is these brackets, this is actually playing this.
Okay, then,
these
yeah,
guys,
we're
and
good.
These guys are playing
Yes.
this. Okay, perfect. So let's go back to the West then. Really
So
quick.
then go again for
The top
just be
left.
like one
Yeah, so-
is gonna play, or I guess we don't.
The top of the West is playing the bottom of the West on your bracket.
Okay.
Between that, who does everyone have playing, period? And then in how many games do you have each team advancing?
Ooh, man. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
So it's OKC versus Dallas.
I have OKC versus the Clippers.
Oh, you guys all have.
We all have the Clippers, right?
Warriors versus Clippers.
And I also
Okay.
have the Warriors versus the Clippers.
Okay, so then you two, Garrett. Let's
Okay.
let you go first.
Well, do you want me to go first, Joel, or do you?
You can go ahead.
Okay.
He'll piggyback off of you.
Okay, sounds good. Cool. I'm just going to consult my notes really quick. I know who I have winning this series, but okay, here we go. I have Golden State in 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Garrett,
Nobody went. When I told you I had a sleeper pick, I'm going Golden State Warriors.
Is that a sleeper for you?
Oh, it's not for you?
Hmm? No, I'm just saying because of your fan.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, picking a 10 seed to go to the Western Conference Finals is pretty insane. I'm saying in 7. Here's the deal. I think Zubats, or however you pronounce his name, is like, just from watching him play, is one of the most overrated defenders at the center position.
Yeah, he's no good.
I do not think he's good. And what did I say against the Pelicans? It's the same concept.
Yep.
The Warriors have consistently struggled against teams with bigs that are competent defensively. Every other team they have played well against. This matchup, as weird as it seems, actually plays well into Golden State's favor. Even though I think Los Angeles Clippers are the superior team, like on paper, I think a lot of their matchups are really good. For example, Wiggins, when locked in, he plays very solid defense. Same with Kuminga. think Kuminga he's been getting a lot of attention for his offensive play. His defensive play is very astute too. And the thing about Golden State is we have like 9 players that we can throw out in a playoff rotation. So I think we're going to have enough bodies to cover the threats that the Clippers have. I think this is probably one of the hotter takes, but I do have them in 7 over the Clippers. Let me see. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, I think I have the Clippers in 7.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah, I see the Clippers getting this,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think it'll be really close.
Mm-hmm. And, okay. Cool. Anything else
No.
on that? Very cool, very cool, very cool. I'm looking at my notes, and I think, as I said earlier, the free throw rate going down only helps the Warriors. I think, and also the thing with the Clippers is, I know this might sound weird, but they're fairly likely, just knowing the Clippers, someone's going to get injured. Yeah.
Yep, I was waiting for you to say something like that.
And, I mean, if that happens...
That could even happen before this game.
That's what I'm saying.
Theoretically
So,
happens.
yeah, I have Golden State in 7. That's my hot take. Who thinks I'm wrong?
I think that
Good.
you're so wrong.
Okay.
Because Dallas will be beating OKC.
Wow.
Oh, so you're
7
saying
games.
we
Wow.
don't even have the same game for this, which is so funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
I
'cause
am way wrong.
The Mavs are hot and Luka is
Luke is hot? Are you trying to say Luke is hot?
no.
Sus.
That was kind of sus.
That was sus. Well, dang.
Luka's too good. That's
Luka is so freaking hot.
Luka is
No
good.
doubt.
This is one of the first matchups where I don't feel like I have like a clear set team that I can like pick. Even if I was to take like 5 minutes and just like really think about like what these two teams, I have OKC versus the Clippers, and you know I think I'm gonna need to break it down to the Clippers historically, as Shaw here has said, get injured. And that is always a factor in their playoff runs. And even though they're healthy now, is that going to last through a full 7-game series versus the Mavericks?
Mhm.
Are they going to make it to the next round with all of their guys
I don't know.
running on full cylinders, all cylinders? I don't think so. And I'm gonna pick OKC here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it'll be competitive. I'm gonna say it's going to 7, but I see OKC coming out on top.
Wait a sec. So you have OKC making it to the Western Conference Finals so far.
Yes.
I have the Golden State Warriors making it to the Western Conference Finals. You have Dallas making it to the Western Conference Finals. And you have the Clippers making it to the Western Conference
Wow.
Finals. Those are 4 different teams.
4 different teams.
We are a house divided.
We are.
And a house
indeed.
divided
Will not stand.
is really sus. Just kidding. Okay, yeah, I mean, OKC's a really super solid pick. But that's so interesting that we all have different teams. That's crazy.
Spoiler,
Anyway.
I don't know how much further they'll make it after that.
OKC, yeah,
Yep.
I agree, because I think they're going to meet a certain team.
They are
Right,
going to
in
meet
that
a very certain team that we're going to talk about here in a second.
now?
Right now. Who
Okay.
is that team?
The Denver Nuggets.
The Denver.
The Minnesota Timberwolves. That's what you guys said, right?
Oh, man, no way you have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Are you
Whoa.
serious?
Yes.
You have the Timberwolves beating the Nuggets?
Yes.
Okay, let's.
Why?
They're deeper,
Okay,
That's true.
that is your 1 point.
That's true.
and that is my only point.
That's it. Here's
He's
what-
got a he's got a point here.
Does everyone have No, you did so. You picked the Suns, right? If
Yeah.
I'm remembering
I
correctly.
got the Suns over the Pelicans.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Wow.
insane. Okay,
I think
so you have the
I think
Suns
that-
advancing to this
I
Western.
think that Jaw here has my inverse bracket. If an inverse bracket could exist.
That still
It
doesn't make
was-
sense. To
I
me.
know.
Okay.
I just think you're wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strong words between Joel and Tall.
I'm all right with that.
We're going to go to therapy in the next Ball Limberous podcast.
Well, goes to therapy.
That would be
Dr.
really
Bill,
fun.
can you make that happen? Get a therapist
Thank you,
on
Dr.
for
Bill
us.
Kaiser.
We could do it right now.
Here's why. Okay.
Doctor.
You said that. We can do that right now.
Here's what I will say really quick about the Nuggets Minnesota
So he's
thing.
a therapist.
Is
We're learning lots here.
oh yeah. No, we already knew that, dude. Because we're good friends.
You're right. We are.
Here's what I'm gonna say really quick. Denver super famously said Minnesota was actually their toughest matchup last year. I think Minnesota's obviously only got
Aren't
stronger.
they like the only team that beat them? Besides like no, the Suns,
And all their
the
games
Suns
have been
beat
competitive.
them. The Suns beat them and the Heat beat them once.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think did they get 2 games?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. That was the first round.
Again, I'm met with the same decision here of I don't have a clear winner. Like I don't have one that I'm like, oh yeah, this team is going to win it and this is why. You know, Dr. Bill here, he's got a point.
Mm-hmm.
And that point is that Minnesota just has more depth and has more key pieces. Now, are those pieces better than Jokic? No. But that depth, how does that factor into how they'll play in a 7-game series? And
And they've got the best defense in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
By a significant margin too.
yep.
So that's my second point.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
There's 2 points. He's got 2 points.
And all the games have been so entertaining. between the two, but
How did Minnesota exit the playoffs last year? I'm trying
they
to
lost to
remember.
the Nuggets.
Did
in
they
the first round?
It was
in
the first round.
round?
Mm-hmm.
Did
Yes.
it? What did it go to? Did it go
I think
to
it's
6?
5 or 6. I can pull it up.
Let's
but,
pull it up real quick.
yeah.
Because it's just another one where the teams aren't all that different.
Mm-hmm.
I would say their chemistry is different.
I think the teams are
Timberwolves are
Mhm.
kind of locked in this year, at least more
They're
than they were
extremely
last.
locked in. I remember they were punching like chairs and shit last year, and then
Yeah,
this year
yeah. Yeah,
they've just
it
been
all
dominant.
changed when Rudy Gobert choked out Draymond Green. Or no, when
The opposite.
Draymond Green choked out Rudy Gobert.
They were balling even way back.
That was
then.
funny.
What was I gonna look up here? I was gonna look up playoff series.
The playoff series last year. I'll make this quick.
It's 4-1. That was what it was. So
Okay.
it went to 5.
Went to 5.
Mm.
I feel like Minnesota is gonna take that. This is a revenge series for them. Like they have things to prove here, and I think proving it is beating the Nuggets.
Wow.
I'm with Bill.
Yes. I am in the minority. What? That's crazy.
Oh.
Okay. How many games do you guys have for both of
I
them?
got 7.
7.
I'll go 7 as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, very very competitive.
That's wild. Okay. Cool.
How many games do you have?
I have Denver in 5. Here you go. I love Minnesota. I called them early, in the season to be a great team, but what I've seen
This
from
is-
Denver has been so freaking dominant. I think the only team that, I mean, I think the Celtics are the only team that's. I don't know. If any team in the West does knock them off, it's going to be Minnesota. But
You guys remember how boring the finals were last year? Between the Heat and the Nuggets.
yeah,
Like it was not like I watched it, but it was not like I'm so excited to watch the game tonight. Like it was just it was one-sided, and I don't think. I think Denver is gonna get those not one-sided matchups. Their whole journey to the finals, if they are going to the finals, they've got to they've got to play against teams like OKC, who, yeah, they're young, but they can ball, and the Timberwolves, who are deep,
They're really
and
good. Especially defensively.
yep, and
so
anyone else, all of the teams in the West have a good fighting chance. I don't see anything in the East. I have more fours, and in the West it's like, oh, this one's gonna be a close series. It's there's no clear favorites. There's no 70-win Warriors team that we're like, yeah, we're all just easy.
In the West.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
I agree.
Yep. But that is my argument there of, Denver's not just gonna mosey their way all the way to the finals and just take another finals victory here.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota has shit to prove.
I mean,
And if they don't, then they gotta rethink their core. They really do.
run it back. Anthony Edwards is going to be a year older. But I'll say this, top 3 seeds were decided today. So,
True.
it's
Exactly.
a close Western Conference.
That hasn't happened in a long time. I saw a stat on that, but
Okay.
we won't divvy off there.
For sure.
But
Okay. Perfect. So that's basically Denver, Minnesota, right? Anything else? And then we'll get into Joel's picks because I am interested to hear. But basically...
should we jump over to the Eastern?
Well, I want to know what the heck's going on with Joel's bracket here. But just really quick, I think Minnesota's like one chance, right? Is like if they... Denver is the lowest 3-point attempt rate team in the NBA. So even though Minnesota is a high 3-point percentage, 3-point attempt rate team, if they do take them and if they are hot, I do think there's some fluctuation that can go on there. But with that, Joel, really quick.
Yeah.
So you said you have the Pelicans
I have the Suns.
Oh, you have the Suns going to the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
over the Pelicans.
KD Dick Rider over here.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
How much do you love Katie?
He's okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
But I think he has it.
Okay.
This is your.
Hmm?
If he does win, if Katie wins, randomly,
Yeah.
does that redeem himself in the eyes of NBA fans?
No, because
He had to form a super team.
he
with
had to
Devin
form a
Booker,
super
Bradley
team.
Beal.
Mm.
That's what idiots like Trevor was like.
Tall.
Tall limberous.
There you go. Tall windows.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we should jump to the East.
Let's jump to the East. So it's 1 and 8 versus 4 and 5. Or
Yeah.
the winner of 4 and 5. Yep.
Basically, so it's gonna be the top of your bracket versus the bottom of your bracket for the first game.
Does anyone here not have Boston winning this?
I don't even know Boston in this.
Oh my god!
That is.
I love your bracket.
You gotta put money on that.
Uh-huh.
I bet the payout for that, insane.
Yeah, so I've got the 76ers over the Magic over the 76ers here.
Wow.
Magic over the Sixers.
Yep.
Why?
I think this.
He doesn't need to tell you that.
I don't
You're
know-
right.
yeah.
Sorry to encroach. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
I'm gonna go 5 games.
5 games.
Yeah.
I'll take over.
Okay.
We'll
Will you?
talk about the next.
Boston sweeping the East.
Wow.
I don't see it.
That's fine. You don't need to see it.
I don't see a series where Boston doesn't easily clean that up. Whether you picked Cleveland or Orlando, both of those teams just don't face up against Boston in the way
No, they don't
that
have a chance.
it's competitive.
I got Boston 4 over Cleveland.
I've got Boston in 4 over Orlando. But yeah, we're almost at a consensus of Boston sweeping.
You'll never get a consensus out of me.
That's all right. Let's jump down to our other matchup in the Eastern Conference. I've got Philly and the Pacers, which, if it goes this way, I think that's favorable for the Sixers. As good as Indianapolis is, I just feel like the 76ers have added enough key pieces around Maxey and Embiid this year. And I feel like I've said this during the podcast, but, Buddy Hield is a great shooter. And Kelly Oubre, great bucket getter. Batum, he's all right. He can play some defense. He can make a couple shots. It's not that great, but
Yeah.
if it comes down to Philly and Indianapolis in a 7-game series, I think Philly's winning that in 5 easily. There would be one game where Halliburton goes off for like 40 and 15 or something like that, where he's just diming everyone up. But I see the Sixers winning that one.
Over Indy?
Over Indy in 5.
Dude, so when I said you're taking Philly to the Eastern Conference Finals way at the beginning, I said that because I had Golden State going to the Western Conference Finals, and I wanted to troll you, but you actually did the same thing.
I did. And again,
So you can't laugh at me.
I am taking my fan hat off
I
here.
don't believe you.
In
Do you
these
believe
men-
him?
Well, against the Pacers, they'll probably win.
Yeah, if that's the matchup,
But
for
who
sure.
do they have to beat? Oh, the Knicks? Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Did Jal already go for it? Because I'm assuming we've moved into the middle
I just
two
finished
or whatever.
mine. Yep.
Okay, so Philly, what'd you have?
I'm going with the Heat over the Pacers in this one.
Heat
Hey.
over Pacers. I agree
Playoff
completely.
Jimmy.
And
I'm saying 6 games.
6 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the Knicks.
Okay.
Knicks over Pacers in 5 games.
Knicks over Pacers in 5 games. I think that's pretty accurate. I like that take. I think that. Oh no, I had Milwaukee winning in 7. But yeah, I mean, I have here. Can I borrow this?
Yes.
I remember. Basically, I have the Knicks moving on. I think Knicks in 6 is what I went with. Primarily just because the Bucks make it, and the Bucks' perimeter defense is absolute garbage.
Yep.
And Jalen Brunson is an absolute beast. So,
Yeah, he is.
not super complicated there. At least for me. See, it's kind of weird at this point because we all have different teams. In this Final Four, whatever.
We do.
So talking about specific games is like so complicated, right?
Yep.
So I think now that we've all stated, our Final Four, we should go over just as a recap of what the Final Four are, if
Just
that makes sense.
really quickly, yeah.
Yeah, super quick. I can start. I have Golden State and Denver in my Western Conference Finals, and I have Boston and the Knicks in my Eastern Conference Finals.
I have the Thunder and the Timberwolves in my Western Conference Finals, and I have Boston and Philly, a matchup we have seen quite a few times in the last couple years.
And how does that usually go?
It's close. It's close. And
It's Doc Rivers' fault, right?
and I will admit right here, I don't think Philly has enough to beat Boston.
Oh,
And
there you go. It's so funny.
not to spoil my next pick, even though I just did, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's just move on here
Go
if you're
ahead.
okay with that. Let's
So
get the
in
Final
the
Four.
West, I've got the Clippers and the Suns, and
Oh,
in the
man.
East, I've got the Magic and the Heat.
Wow.
What the fuck? Okay. I love it, dude. Chaos. And then let's jump over to Dr. Bill Kaiser.
In the West, I've got Dallas and Minnesota.
Okay.
And Boston and New York Knicks in the East.
Okay. That's so interesting. So Jaws is insane, but the rest of ours, we only have Boston somewhere, and your guys' are kind of similar too, because you both picked Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, cool.
East was a lot easier, I think.
Yep.
I agree.
It's always easier when you have a team as dominant as the Celtics,
And then there are way less good teams.
and there's lots of way less good teams. Yep.
It's absolutely true. That's why they're sweeping the East. Okay. Hey, are we good to move on? Or did anybody want to cover? Sorry, I'm kind of moving away faster now.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, no. Sorry, I was reading my thing.
So you kind of got to go off on your own.
Yeah.
I'll start here.
Everyone should do it. Give a little bit about it, and then we'll move on. So
Give
go ahead.
both of your 2 matchups and just a quick of who you think is going to win and why.
Okay.
Like I said, in the West, I have the Thunder and the Timberwolves. I like the Timberwolves in this matchup. I do. I don't want to be the guy that just agrees with what the media has to say, but I feel like there definitely is some relevance to the need for playoff experience. And, the run that OKC has had this year of, last year they didn't make the in-season tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm. So
I feel like their road ends here.
against a team with a lot of playoff experience.
The team with a lot of
They
playoff experience losing in the first round.
Yeah, that's true, against the eventual champions.
Yep.
Okay, so you're taking Minnesota?
I'm taking Minnesota here.
Okay.
On the Eastern Conference side.
we're doing both.
Yeah,
Okay,
just do both.
I got you.
Wait,
how many games?
how many games? I'll say in 6.
6 games?
Yep. 6 games.
Okay, cool. Okay, and then what about the East?
In the East, I have Boston and Philly.
Boston
and
Philly.
I don't see Boston sweeping Philly. I feel like, just like last year, there's going to be some games where Boston kind of doesn't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not perfect this season. They're great, but I don't see them sweeping the entire Western Conference.
Eastern?
Yeah, I meant that. Eastern. The entire Eastern Conference. But I'm taking Boston in 5 here.
Okay.
Philly will give them a good game.
Okay. Sounds good.
Boston in 5.
I do think Philly is one team that could take a game off Boston just because of the sheer
Dominance of Joel Embiid.
Embiid. Yeah, he's so good.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Go over to Joel.
Yep, so on the West, I'll have the Suns over the Clippers.
Okay.
I'm thinking in 5 games, really.
5 games?
Yeah.
Suns, man.
I
He
just
loves KD.
I just love KD.
Okay. He's embraced it.
He
Okay,
has
cool.
so much to prove.
He does. He really
He
does.
has so much to prove, and he is
So is
willing
Booker,
to prove
yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And on
Hardly
the
know.
East,
Go ahead.
on the East, I think this was gonna be close, but I think Magic beats the Heat, probably in 6.
Okay. Magic Heat. Man. The Heat
So
are
we got
good.
Playoff Jimmy versus Paulo Banchero.
Mhm.
That's an interesting matchup.
Oh my
there.
gosh, I know. I'm spacing on his name right now. Who's the one guy on the Magic that's like ridiculous defensively? Jonathan Isaac.